Scotty Scheffler is up by a touchdown. There's $2 million to be won on DraftKings. You have 48 days left until the beginning of the NFL season to make $2 million. Let's do it.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything.
It appears that I perhaps muted myself, but that's okay. Let's try and play the intro again.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
Not my smoothest intro of all time. Gonna be real. When I put my hand down, I just flipped my keyboard up. Shout out to Macintosh for honestly a keyboard that's not great. The default Mac keyboard, not great. GM Dustin, GM Billy, GM Disbanded Brotherhood, GM Peppertoni. Peppertoni, where you been, brother? Where have you been, man? I feel like we've been streaming a ton and haven't seen you. GM to Manetto over on twitch.tv/DavisMattic. We are already in a DraftKings Millionaire Maker contest. We are picking at pick 11. I feel like yesterday we only picked out of the turns. And yeah, guys, we're just going to chill. We're going to hang out here on a Sunday. Nothing really going on in the Open Championship that is worth paying attention to, which is a little bit of a bummer. I probably would not have really wanted to stream if this one was really up in the balance. But all I need for wagering purposes as we get here towards the end is I need one Matthew Fitzpatrick birdie and I need one Rory McIlroy birdie. And we are good to go. GM Josh, GM Matthew, GM Artillery Frost. Started a new job, then when traveling. Okay, well, valid. We're just missing you, man. Got some cold brew, iced coffee. Just got home from the dog park with my dog, GM Lutz. What do you guys have going on today? You watching the Open Championship? Any of you guys golf today? What's good, man? What do we got going on? How are we living around here? We living good, fellas? Thinking here at the turn, we probably just do... Man, I really would like to get more Malik Neighbors. I am not loving being light on Malik Neighbors. It's just very hard to get him. I guess, what is the actual ADP? So maybe I have Nico ranked too high. I have Nico ranked... Well, no, do I? I have Genty ranked too high. I guess that's it. I guess that's why I don't get enough. GM, JAS, Joss. How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a great day. Hope everyone's having a great day, man. The sun is shining out here in St. Louis, Missouri. It's quite hot, actually, here in St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, just finished mowing. I have to mow today. I've got to mow today at some point. Ooh. It's gonna be touch and go. I'll tell you guys this, man. I had a very old man incident happened to me today. I woke up and I went to go get a cup of coffee and I turned the corner and I literally felt a twinge in my knee just from walking in my house. So that's what I've got going on. That's the stage that I am living in right now. If you guys ever wondered what it's like to be in your 30s, that's what it's like. Working today, 24-day grind. Billy's laughing at me. You know what? I'm just going to take McCaffrey. His ADP is 8.1. I am happy to take any kind of discounted Christian McCaffrey that there is. Billy's laughing at me. Tough scene. McCaffrey at 111. I'm sorry, man. I'm just not going to get talked into this being a bad pick. He's the number one fantasy player of our lifetimes. And I'm on Ross St. Brown over him. Can't do it. And frankly won't do it. All right, so Genty goes there at the turn. I'm really fine with, I mean, BTJ obviously I think is the nicest, but I'm fine with A-Chain. Yeah, let's do BTJ. I mean, that's the most common permutation there. I'm sure if I pulled up the DraftKings sheet, it would tell me that that's the most common permutation. LaDainian Tomlinson disrespect. All right, I actually don't know this. Let's do some research. Who do we think had the more dominant fantasy season? So I'll go over to Pro Football Reference, and we'll look at single seasons, matching criteria, descending PPR fantasy points per game. We'll go from 2000 to 2025. We'll go played running back. We'll go biographical filter, position. How do I do that? Is it under position running back? Statistical filter, PPR points per game over 22. That probably works. And we're gonna find out. Yeah, St. Brown will not be the number one overall player. McCaffrey definitely could. Murray Lime says LT. Yeah, I think LT probably was better overall, but CMC was better than the guys he was playing against. All right, share results. Copy to clipboard. And we'll see. All right, here we go. So this is from single seasons, 2000 and 2025, played running back in the regular season, PPR points per game, over 22 per game. We've got a 32.8 for Marshall Faulk, 31.4 from Priest Holmes. That 3-game season for McCaffrey, he scored 30.1. We got LT for 30, Faulk for 29, McCaffrey for 29, Priest Holmes for 27, LT for 27, Priest Holmes for 26. How about that season from Gurley? 26.5, Le'Veon Bell, 26.4, Steven Jackson, Todd Gurley again, David Johnson, Jamal Charles, Alvin Kamara in 2020, Edgerrin James, McCaffrey at 24. I'll give a slight edge to LaDainian Tomlinson. Very slight edge to LaDainian Tomlinson, I think, based off of these results. But McCaffrey is, Christian McCaffrey is our generation's Christian McCaffrey. Wait, that's not right. Christian McCaffrey is our generation's LaDainian Tomlinson, is what I would say. Does that feel fair? LT versus CMC, who you got? I guess. Yes, and PPR is actually a little bit worse for LaDainian Tomlinson, obviously, because LaDainian Tomlinson was the dude scored tuds. That's what he did. I wonder what do we think the max receptions LaDainian ever had in a season was? LaDainian season, well, I guess he had 100 reception season. So that's not true. Yeah, well, Adrian Peterson never caught passes, man. That's the thing about Adrian Peterson is no matter how good he was, never caught any passes. What all-time other positions are? That is profootballreference.com. Costs, I think, $6.99 a month to be able to do all those cool searches on StatHead. Pro Football Reference /StatHead. It's the same website. Yeah, CMC did literally have a season where he was a top 10 running back and wide receiver if you completely separated his stats. Now, Jaden Redaniels, CMC doesn't have an iconic touchdown dance, so he can't be the GOAT. I mean, I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying, but I am saying. Yeah, I guess if you had to name a CMC signature play, you probably really couldn't. Here, Dustin, I'll run that real quick for other positions. So we'll do running back, wide receiver, and tight end, and then I'll do it. All right, we are up here real quick. We have McCaffrey and BTJ. God, dude, the people do not want Worthy. CMC is white, probably can't dance. I didn't say it. Express Sports said it. Okay, let's just do... You know what? Let's do McLaurin. Is Daniels still on the board? Did I mess that up? Okay, no. Daniels is still on the board. I don't have very many combinations of this on DraftKings. Any idea the entry on a $5 puppy entry? Yeah, you got to subtract the rake from that, though. So subtract 10% for the rake, and then divide it by... Well, it's more complex than that. It's a smidgen more complex than just dividing by 12 minus the rake. All right, yeah, let's do it. Jaden Daniels. Bang. So after 4 picks, we are Jaden Daniels, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Thomas Jr., and Terry McLaurin. Is it? I guess it is literally just that. Don't you have to do something for the odds of getting first or something? I don't know. Yeah, the EV is 0 because you're just going to lose anyways. Okay. So now I have the list since 2000 with tight ends and wide receivers in the list as well. This was for my boy, Dustin Norton. So then the running backs are all still the same, but then you add in Cooper Kupp's 2021, Devontae Adams 2020, Odell Beckham's 2014, Antonio Brown, age 26, age 27, Derrick Henry, age 27, Dalvin Cook. How about that? This is the funniest thing ever to me, is that Dalvin Cook, who is, no one thinks Dalvin Cook is any good. Dalvin Cook has a better fantasy season than any Saquon Barkley season. Isn't that funny? Saquon Barkley's 2024 barely makes this list. Saquon Barkley's 2024 was not better than a Tiki Barber season, than a Ricky Williams season, than a Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's 2018 was better than Saquon Barkley's season last year. How does that make you feel? Isn't that kind of crazy? Like the value of McCaffrey's season, or the value of Barkley's season last year, has just changed so much. I actually ran the numbers and determined our EV is gonna lose anyway. Didn't Barkley not even have 2,000 yards last year? Am I making that up? Didn't Barkley finish short of 2,000 yards last year? Or did he finish short of the rushing record last year? Yeah, 2005. Yes, Barkley's season a lot better in half PPR, obviously, which is why he was such a force multiplier on Underdog specifically. GM Skeletor. Yes, Le'Veon Bell's 2017. You really had to be there. It was such a moment in time. That season was truly incredible. If I have CMC, I'm taking Kittle more than 50% of the time in the fourth. Is that bad? Yeah, honestly, and I'm curious your guys' thoughts. I think that taking Kittle with CMC is not great, because what you are wanting to do with Kittle is, dude, you are wanting like a 15 touchdown season, and Kittle is getting more and more expensive in a way that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Like, I guess you got the Pearsall injury, the Ayuk injury, Juwan Jennings holding out, but I feel like of all the correlated players, Kittle and CMC are probably not super positively correlated. And also, I think that's kind of ruining your combinatorics with CMC. Yeah, I'm with Dustin. I kind of want them opposed from each other, not with one another. Wasn't Gibbs still running back 1 on UD over Barkley last year? I honestly don't know. I'd have to go look it up. I really don't know, Andrew. Okay. I mean, I would love to take Ridley or Hunter here. I think either is fine. and then probably take a running back coming back around. Is this ADP value on Ridley? Not really. Hunter went, so we're going to take Ridley, and then we're going to take whichever running back is there for us coming back around. Yeah. All right, how about this? People say, I never learn anything. I never grow. How about this? How about old boy Joe Mixon? How about it? Add a little bit of old Joe Mixon to the roster. If you think a player, a 4th to 6th round player, is blatantly underpriced, how high would you be willing to go exposure-wise? I mean, I guess my take on this has probably changed over the years. I do think that this point is more true, that exposure doesn't really matter. It's more the combinations, and not combinations in combinatoric ownership, but more in a Jacquard tree sense, the way that Sacrilegious has explained it over on Legendary Upside, which is that you want, if you're really high on, I don't know, let's just make a guy. Let's say Travis Hunter, right? Travis Hunter went where? 58 in this one. So let's say you take Travis Hunter on 50% of your teams. When you do that, you want to be taking him sometimes with Harvey, sometimes with Connor, sometimes with Mixon, sometimes with Swift, sometimes with Jalen Hurts, sometimes not. You want to have a bunch of very, very diverse teams around the guy you have a huge stand on. What you don't want to do is you do not want to do what I did last year, which is draft a bunch of iterations of the same team with very slight combos. Like every time I had Xavier Worthy, I was taking Mahomes, or every time that I was taking Drake May, I was taking Javon Baker. Or every time, because like May could have been a slight. Well, actually, let's put this in reverse. Let's say I actually was drafting Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara. You know, it would have been a huge problem that if every time, let's say I had 8% of Barkley last year, I just took him at ADP and I moved on. It would have been a huge issue to have mirrored my overall exposures with like, every Barkley team also has Blake Corum on it, and every Derrick Henry team also has Dontavian Wicks on it. You know, just these guys with big zeros, which is not to say you don't want any combinations of your high stand players, but you want your teams to have big time different textures. Your goal of walking in should never be, I know the team I'm going to draft. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe that is something that makes more sense in my head, and maybe I don't even exactly understand Sacrilegious's ideas or Shady Advice's ideas, but that is the way I'm conceiving of it. Like, so actually, this team that I have going on right here is a phenomenal example. Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin are going to be a huge combinatorial pairing. But what would be a really bad idea, like truly like one of the worst things you could do, is every time you take McLaurin, you also have Daniels, so that 100% of your 8% of Jaden Daniels is reliant on Terry McLaurin's points. Specifically with a running quarterback. I mean, I think this is true with Josh. I think this is true with Lamar. I think this is true with Kyler. I think this is true with Jalen Hurts. You absolutely do not want to be having to rely on their expensive wide receivers 100% of the time, because Jaden Daniels can absolutely still get there in a season where either McLaurin gets injured, McLaurin underperforms, or McLaurin has a bad week 17. Like there's like certainly a really good chance that Devontae Adams outscores Terry McLaurin in a week where Jaden Daniels is the highest scoring quarterback. Okay, well, I'm just going to take Juwan Jennings here. I'm going to absolutely... It felt like a huge... Juwan Jennings at 83 is crazy. Honestly, I'm not huge on Debo this year. I think Debo is like a fine click. I'm a little bit less out on him than I thought that I would be. Let's go. Should we go Golden? Should we go Pearsall, set up the double? You know what? Jaden Reed's on the thumbnail. I put Jaden Reed riding a bike on the thumbnail, so I'm actually going to take him. Welcome to the team, Jaden Reed. You get the thumbnail bump. Huge point here. You can hit the nuts on a massive player stand, but if you're just drafting different versions of the same team, you have a thinner needle to thread when it comes to the playoff pods. I mean, how about the people who hit the nuts on Barkley last year? Barkley in the playoff pods was actually a losing player. And he was a losing player for a couple reasons. First being he didn't end the season that great. I don't remember which game he was poor in. Barkley in week 15 had 6.5 plus 7.5. He had 8.5 points. Now he had a huge week 15, but then in week 17 he had 16 point. He had 17.5 points in week 17. So if you also there's definitely a better way to explain this than what was just in my head. So basically you want to have a bunch of combinations of like Barkley, Kamara, Henry, the guy like I think Gritty, our boy Gritty, Mike Bolduck. So he ran on the really bad side of this where he had a bunch of Derrick Henry. I think he had a bunch of Kamara too, but because his teams were so similar, like he had didn't he have 60% Quinton Johnston or something, or like he had really high exposures, and so basically all his teams died. That guy, FFB Wizard, advanced 55% of his total teams in Best Ball Mania, but didn't get any teams to the semifinals because his teams were all the exact same. They were just all different. They were basically slightly different versions of the same. He just didn't give himself enough outs. River Hops asks a good question. Do you expect Hunter to win in a similar way to Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because after watching his highlights, I would bet my kidneys he's not winning like Neighbors or Thomas. I think your best comps for Travis Hunter as an NFL player are Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. That is my opinion. Just my opinion, though. I've been wrong about these things before. I'll probably continue to be wrong about many of these things in my lifetime. But that is my opinion. I think he had 80% of Chase Claypool for a while. But shout out to him, man. Gritty is a man who likes to have fun, and I think we can all respect that. Diggs, Jennings, or Pearsall for BBM and Eliminator. Pearsall. Well, Jennings first, then Pearsall, then Diggs, in my opinion. Run Good Rick had a good question that I wanted to highlight. What lessons will 2025 Davis tell 2026 Davis, if you had to guess? Honestly, I really mean this, and it's going to sound tongue-in-cheek, but it's really not. I think that probably what I will tell myself is that Davis, you should not have gone too far in the other direction. You went way too far in the direction of not trusting yourself, of not having player takes, of spreading your exposure far too much. And specifically Mahomes as a 9th round pick, Travis Kelce as an 8th round pick, things like that. I think that you probably if I had to guess, I would guess my biggest regret will be not buying the dip on those guys. Now Joe King makes a great point, which is that it's really bold to assume that I learn from my mistakes. Very, 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 very bold to assume that. Yes, Joe King, you make a fantastic point there. All right, I guess we just do. I don't know. Does it make sense to take Purdy here? I guess it probably does. I mean, we have Jennings. Is there anyone I really want to take? Not me. Maybe Tyler Warren. Maybe J.K. Dobbins. You know what? I'm actually going to take Tyler Warren. I'd be a little bit more annoyed to lose him. I like Daniel Jones's price on DraftKings. Does anyone in fantasy sports ever learn anything? The answer is clearly no. No one in fantasy sports has ever learned anything. Wow, Dalton Kincaid at the 109. Sure. All right, now I will take Brock Purdy. So we've got 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 1 tight end, Jaden Daniels, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Brian Thomas Jr., Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Warren, Juwan Jennings, Jaden Reed, and Brock Purdy. I believe that on both DraftKings and Underdog, Brock Purdy is my most drafted quarterback. Wasn't part of the Chiefs' optimism that Rice was coming back. I don't think it's good for Worthy, et cetera. I think they lean more on Pacheco instead. Frankly, and I'm curious your guys' thoughts on this. I think that more of the Chiefs' optimism really should just be more about the offensive line play and about Mahomes getting out of his own head. I mean, doesn't watching the Chiefs, doesn't it feel like Mahomes and Matt Nagy and Andy Reid and the receivers, they're just, to me, a lot of their regular season performance really did just feel like they were in their own heads. Like Mahomes is just like missing easy throws to Worthy. They're calling everything so close to the line of scrimmage. Now, part of that was last year they knew they were not getting any explosives out of just absolutely no explosives out of the running game, right? None. Kareem Hunt, 0 explosive runs. I'm not making that up. 0 runs over 20 yards. So I think you add in Elijah Mitchell, you add in Isaiah Pacheco, you add in Rashard Smith. Now, Easy, of course, makes a good point, which is that Joe Thuney is gone. It's not great. I will say I've been following this as close as I can follow offensive line stuff, because like just at the end of the day, some of this stuff is unknowable. Unknowable for me because I just don't know anything about offensive line play. But they have changed things up on the offensive line a little bit. The first being they're going to kick Kingsley Kingsley Suamataya. It's probably not even close. So they're kicking him into left guard. That's a big deal. They got the contract done with Trey Smith. They signed this fella, Jalen Moore, who played for the who was the swing tackle for the 49ers last year. They signed him to a good team-friendly deal. They drafted Josh Simmons, who it seems like is actually going to be back and ready to play. He suffered he had an Achilles rupture, but it sounds like he's going to be ready to go. They have Wanya Morris as well as another swing tackle. I think my guess is the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line will play roughly as well as they did in 2024, maybe a smidgen better because they have a different answer at tackle. And the missing Thuney is a big deal. Don't get me wrong. Thuney is super important to what they were doing. But I think the combo of having Moore, another season of experience for Kingsley, and then adding Simmons. If I'll tell you this, if Thorne is right and they are the 12th best offensive line, most of the Chiefs should be buys at their prices. Just my opinion. Basically, I mean, easy hit it here. Is that if Simmons returns first round left tackle value, it's a huge deal. All right, we need a running back. You know what? Let's take Ramondre. Why not? Shout out to Gritty. Ramondre is his favorite player this year. Suamatia. Okay, I'm gonna try and commit that to memory. Yes, people are saying this more and more. It was one of the most important offseason transactions from what I remember. It's a huge part of my optimism for the Chicago Bears. Oh, all right. Now, do we take Tootin or do we take Burden? Do we take Tootin or do we take Burden? Week 17, I'm taking Burden. I can figure. I mean, this team is screwed if Joe Mixon and CMC aren't my running backs every single week anyway. Yeah, 12 spot is thinking that that DraftKings is tight end premium. All right, what is our team here? We took McCaffrey first overall, or in the first round, then Brian Thomas Jr., then we did the McLaurin and Daniels double tap, added in Calvin Ridley, added Joe Mixon, Juwan Jennings, Jaden Reed, Tyler Warren is our tight end 1, Brock Purdy, Ramondre Stevenson, and Luther Burden. 45% Tootin, I think, is just about right. Byshell Tootin could absolutely be like the most important guy in fantasy football this year, in my opinion. In my opinion. Joe Tooney to the Chiefs was a Deion Sanders type move. 100%. He was on the 2018 Pats and then the 2019 Chiefs. That's true. Oh, there you go. He left the Pats in 2020. If you lost Purdy to the 12 hole, no quarterback, you would have been sniped on Lawrence and Love, saved by Daniels, but it would have been the season of Shuck. What's up, Davis? I just wanted your opinion. I've been thinking about getting into one of the competitive high-stakes leagues. Would you prefer FFPC or NFFC? Okay. It's kind of a tough question. Faith to freight. I play on both. So with all the dudes over at Ship Chasing, Peter Overzet, Pat Corain, Jacob Sanderson, we play on the FFPC. But on this channel, I play on the NFFC. I would say it's probably slightly easier to play on it. Like, I think the average user is a little bit worse on the FFPC. Like, I just think the players there are sort of poor. But I also, I guess I would also say that I kind of like the interface and the site. And also, I actually, like, if I'm just going to keep it 100% real, I like the guys who own and run the NFFC a little bit more. The guy who runs the FFPC, like, big time to me when I started this channel, which I didn't love. But yeah, I play on both. I think both are strong. That's I don't really think you can go wrong. Damn, Cam Ward went at 148. This team I would have liked to have gotten him. My thoughts on 4 tight end builds and 18 round drafts on Underdog is that they're bad. I would not be doing any of them intentionally. It's possible I have one somewhere in my portfolio on accident, like I auto drafted it or something, but I wouldn't do it on purpose. Not only is it possible, Pepper Tony, that best ball is still as simple as week 17 is all that matters in draft a lot of teams, I would say it's eminently probable that is how best ball works. I think the degree to which all the money is in week 17 is actually still a little bit underrated. Now, do we take a running back or do we take a tight end? We missed on, we missed on Tootin. So let's take Bigsby, and I'll just take whatever's there at tight end. Oh, now that's a callback, Nick. Imagine big timing the sports wonderkind. Well, to be fair to him, my YouTube channel, when I had the call with him, my YouTube channel literally didn't exist yet. I was just like planning things out, and I don't think he knew who I was at all. Is it possible we're sleeping on Darnold? I mean, I don't think so. All right, let's take Ertz for the stack. So we now have 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends. Might need to take. This needs to be a Miles Sanders team to set up the end. This certainly is a LaQuint Allen positive channel. No doubt about that. Yeah, I think you can really just look at Week 17 as one big DFS slate and then draft for that. I like that. I mean, that really is the optimal philosophy. You know, you could advance, all your teams. Like literally, you could advance all your teams. You do 150 teams in the DraftKings Millie Maker, advance all 150 of them, and then not advance a single team to the semifinals. And some guy who advanced 6 total teams but got one through to the final is going to have a better season than you. The FFPC owner, I believe his name is Alex. He was on with Liam not last year, Dylan, but the year before. During the Taysom Hill thing. I'm so nervous about David Montgomery with the new OC. Feel like he could just get phased out. That feels unlikely, right? David Montgomery is paid a lot of money for a running back, and he's just very good. And the offense is so built around the run. David Montgomery is costing, it's actually crazy. David Montgomery is getting paid $8 million a year this year, $8 million a year next year, $10 million in 2027, and doesn't have a void year until 2028. Now, he would only cost the Lions $4 million against the cap if they cut him next year. The Taysom Hill thing was they changed his position in best ball drafts that had already been completed to a quarterback in 2023. So in 2023, you did all these best ball drafts, you did all these contests, millions and millions of dollars in action. And FFPC chose to change Taysom Hill's position to quarterback because the New Orleans Saints listed him as a quarterback because, and I don't remember the exact reason, but the Saints were basically cheating roster restrictions to make him a quarterback. It had something to do with the emergency third quarterback rule. But basically, the Saints cheated, and FFPC changed his position from quarterback to tight end. And their logic was they just list players how the NFL team lists them themselves. I think maybe even on their website. Basically, it was, in my opinion, it was totally the wrong thing to have done. Yeah, imagine Underdog changing like, oh, actually, Cordarrelle Patterson's a running back now. For an auction draft, would you rather have Genty and Mason or Walker and Hampton? I would rather have Genty and Mason. That's my opinion. I for whatever reason, though, just to come back to the Montgomery thing, I'm not really worried about him at all. Just not really at all concerned about David Montgomery. Let's do, what's quarterback looking like? Oh, quarterback is awful thin. Let's take Shuck, and then I'll take Juwan Johnson next, I think. Man, the quarterbacks got gobbled up here. It's the 15th round, and Tyler Shuck is there. Don't even put this in the universe, man. Don't even start talking to me. Wow, Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart here at the turn. Crazy. I don't really want to take Roschon Johnson at all. Let's take Braylon. I'm starting to get a little bit soured on Roschon Johnson. When your third quarterback turns into a tight end 3. Kyle Monangai has a better vertical leap by 6 inches, better 40 time, and higher yards per carry in college than David Montgomery. I don't know. None of that really matters much to me. Are you guys swayed by this? Kyle Monangai went to Rutgers, man. No, I do not love Shadur Sanders. Do you guys like Shadur Sanders? I can't really imagine taking him. A 5th round rookie pick at quarterback. doesn't seem that fun to me. Maybe he's a good pick. I don't know. What do I know, man? I've started taking Manungai now because there's enough buzz. There's enough. Someone said in this chat yesterday. I mean, obviously, I don't know if this is true, and I forget the guy, the name who said it, but someone in the chat yesterday said they have inside info that Manungai is going to be the guy you need this year. Take that for whatever it's worth. It's probably not worth anything. Ben Johnson doesn't even know who Kyle Manungai is. Seems like the coaches like Manungai. Hard to say. Manungai bags in the 18th round. Is Shuck a good enough passer to hold a job through not only this season but beyond? I'd be very skeptical. Tyler Shuck is 26 years old already. About the video yesterday, my voice definitely doesn't sound like that. Well, in my head it does, Lutz. Winner of the $200,000 first place puppy, Raymond Zanny. Raymond Zanny, the winner from Rhode Island. Yeah, he basically is the brand new Brandon Whedon. How many? I didn't do a single one. I did not do a single rookie or sophomore draft on Underdog. Didn't have the time, man. Too busy grinding. What's your draft menu been like, Raymond? What are we doing? How many are you in? All right. Don't let me get sniped here. Juwan Johnson, bada bing, bada boom. Every Slappy loves to take Juwan Johnson with Tyler Shuck. I mean, Mr. Jaden Redaniels, I do still take Roshan some. Do we take Iomanor maybe? Sure. A little bit of week 17 correlation there. I tell you what, I could certainly see the week 17 Saints Titans game being the Who Cares Bowl. You guys know how there's always a week 17 game where no one cares, where both of the teams are eliminated from the playoffs. The defense doesn't care. The coaches don't care. The quarterbacks barely care. The offensive line doesn't care. And it was the 2023 Browns-Jets game, right? It's just like, I think there's a high probability that the Saints and the Titans have been eliminated from the playoff contention for a month, and it's just like Bub Means has 300 receiving yards or something. Exactly. And that's the game. No one cares. The defenses don't care. No one cares. And that's the game that goes for 55 total points. My thoughts is that Mike Clay knows ball and that Jalen Hurts as the quarterback 5 or quarterback 4, depending on what site you're drafting on, is one of the most obvious buys in fantasy football. I am absolutely buying the Rizzy P dip. I think there's a really light probability. To me, there's a really light probability that he breaks out like as a true, I'm really like Ricky Pearsall is actually this really, really good fantasy football player. But it's higher. Like, follow me here. I think his true probability of being a stud wide receiver is higher than Juwan Jennings. Just because it's more unknowable. Why did I think Bub Means was from LA Confidential? I don't even know what LA Confidential is, brother. What is LA Confidential? Well, no, his draft capital was high. Ricky Pearsall was a first-round pick, brother. Pearsall reminds me of Adam Thielen in his younger years. I could see that. I can see that comp. Yeah, Jennings is a dog, but absolutely. Jennings is well, okay. A great point here. Who has a 27-year-old breakout? Yeah. You know ball. That's what it sounds like. I do love a good neo noir, man. Raymond. I'm gonna Google this. Is this a TV show or is this a movie? L.A. Confidential. This is a film. Oh, dude, I would love this. LAPD. Yeah, I might watch this tonight, bro. That's fire. I just watched Kyle Monangai drills, and this man may be cut. Yeah, he looks. I didn't think his film looked good at all. Camp Jones says it's one of the best. All right, say less. Maybe my wife will watch a movie with me tonight. Man, Blake Corum still available in the 19th round is crazy, dude. I've not seen Chinatown. That's the Jack Nicklaus one, or Jack Nicholson one. But I've read all the books that like that environment is based on, because I've read all of Raymond Chandler's books, which are like truly, if you've never read a Raymond Chandler book, like literally nothing better. All right, we need one more running back, one more wide receiver. Looks like it is. You know what? Savion Williams. Don't think I've taken him yet on a stream. Oh, don't get me wrong. My wife loves to hang out, but she's not a movie watcher. We went to go see the new Jurassic Park the other day. Not a great movie. But come on, man. How are you not going to go see a Jurassic Park movie in theaters? Like for whatever you want to say, they're still just dinosaurs, man. I'm going. They could make the crappiest crap, and I'm still gonna be there. Going to the movies also is just an elite experience. You get your icy, you get your popcorn. You're not beating it, dude. Running back. Oh man, another Jordan James team. There we go. Exactly. It really does not matter how bad it is. This one, I will say, the most recent one, whatever it's called, was much better than the last one, which I think was the 9th one they made. Which was that the last Chris Pratt one? That one was awful. It was really bad. This one was better than that. Oh, yes. So this was Tuk Tuk. This was also the last one that I went to. I saw both of these in theaters, Dune and Oppenheimer. The Oppenheimer movie experience, that might have been my favorite movie-going experience as an adult. Obviously, movies have a little bit more magic to them when you are a child or a teenager or whatever, but Oppenheimer and Dune 2 were like incredible. All right, let's see. How did this team turn out? Jaden Daniels, Christian McCaffrey, and Joe Mixon. Brian Thomas Jr., Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Warren, Juwan Jennings, Jaden Reed, Purdy with Jennings, Ramondre, Burden, Bringback, Tank Bigsby, Zach Ertz with Daniels, Shuck, Braylon Allen, Juwan Johnson with Shuck, Io Manor, Bringback, Savion Williams, Jordan James with Purdy. Sick. Oh, I just saw Mulholland Drive for the first time, Nick, about 6 months ago, and it was very good. Love David Lynch. Just also recently watched all of Twin Peaks. So good. All right, let's go hop in another one. If you guys want to hop in, I'm gonna go do it right now. Get your phone out. Get your screen up. Bang. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Blood Simple. Never heard of that either. I do love noir stuff though. So I'm taking a mental note of these movies. Ugh. Little movie chatter timestamp for the people who watch on replay. I don't love this white screen that I get on DraftKings. You seen Wet Reckless, bro? Craziest name for a legal thing that I've ever heard. Wet Reckless. I am, dude. I am behind. There we go. I believe this white screen is because I have an ad blocker on. I believe that is why I get this random white screen. I think that's I think that is the long and short of it. What draft slot do we think I got? Let's find out. All right, I got plenty of time to make these slows. Slow. Current draft. There we go. All right, we got the pick 7 in this one. All right. Got an ETR logo in here. Chilling. I'm going to make you my son in this draft. How is the slow experience? You know, it's comparable. Oh, Dark on Netflix was phenomenal. Someone needs to talk me into Ridley. I mean, I can talk you into Calvin Ridley, I think, which is that Calvin Ridley was one of the most targeted wide receivers in the NFL last year and has absolutely no competition. Like that dude who can even come close to Calvin Ridley on that team? Absolutely no one. If you sort by target share with a minimum of 200 routes, like Ridley actually is not as high up as I thought. And he played pretty good. I don't think Ridley's not that good, but like imagine if Cam Ward returns, you know, kind of average quarterback 1 value, you know, 101 value. Which WNBA drama? The drama about the what they were wearing, the what did it say? Pay us what we're worth t-shirts or whatever. I did watch a little bit of the WNBA All-Star game last night. Calvin Ridley's also not a diva. Well, didn't Calvin Ridley he had one moment last year where he was like, the reporter asked him some question. Oh damn, I almost got Barkley at 7. All right, we'll do Puka. Ridley had one moment last year where he told the reporter, they were like, I don't know why they ain't throwing me the ball or something, which is like, don't get me wrong, man. I've always said this. I've been very adamant about this, that I want my wide receivers to be divas. I want my wide receivers asking for the ball. Oh, we will be continuing to draft on the Underdog platform this summer, but I basically for this week I am a DraftKings partner, as you can see in the bottom bar. Thanks to our partners over on DraftKings. You can sign up using code MATTIC if you've not. You get some best ball tickets, get a little deposit bonus, get a bunch of the offers over there. But basically, DraftKings is doing a bunch of promotions this week in July and then a later week in August, where they're partnering up with a bunch of guys like me and Pat Corain and Neil Orfield and JJ Zachariason to do like really time-bound specific promotions for their best ball product. Whereas my partnership with Underdog is it's a year-long thing. Year-round, as it were, over on Underdog. I have not used the Best Ball Explorer. I think people like it. I just don't have a working relationship with the boys over at the Solver in ETR. Wow, Puka Bowers, say less. That is just an unbelievable start. There was an interview with Jamar Chase, and they asked if he was tired of the diva title for receivers, and he said, "We're all fucking divas." Hell yeah. I want my wide receivers being divas. That's absolutely what I want. The Bengals signing Desmond Ridder is very funny stuff. Okay, so we'll have Stafford and Geno set up here. We are going to be a little bit behind at running back. That's okay. There's one position you can come back from being back from on DraftKings. It's being behind at running back. Just for the record, I would have taken Derrick Henry there. Derrick Henry at 18 on DraftKings. Totally fine. I actually I dreamt about Derrick Henry in week 17 the other day. I can't remember how many points he scored, but I did have a dream about Derrick Henry in week 17. Probably well, it's a good that must I did get owned. Sometimes I'll tell you a secret. Chronic 69. Sometimes when you are sitting by yourself in your basement streaming best ball drafts, sometimes you just say stuff. Sometimes you got to just keep the words coming out of your mouth. That's real. There's a difference between being the best wide receivers in the league and guys like Jalen Polk. Yeah, did you guys see the Jalen Polk Instagram story that said, "Count me out, bro. I dare you to count me out." And I'm like, all right, Jalen Polk, I'm actually fine counting you out, man. I'm fine moving on in my life and in my day. Like, we can count Jalen Polk. Yeah, Burrow at 25. I would never do it. Me personally, I'm never taking Joe Burrow at 25. I get why he did it, but I am never doing it. I mean, this feels like an insane. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna take Josh Jacobs. Look at that T Higgins drop. T Higgins to 30 is crazy. Polk says that while running the most basic route. I mean, you can see why he did it. You know, he's saying, I'm not going to give the T Higgins drafter a chance to do it. He's saying maybe this guy drafting a 101, maybe he's only going to do 4 best ball drafts. Maybe he deposited on DraftKings using promo code Matic, signed up, got his tickets to enter into the contest, and said, "Oh, I got the 101. I have Jamar Chase. I want the stack." You know, lots of ways for people to live out there, brother. Lots of ways for people to live out there. I always co-sign getting your guy. I mean, you gotta put. Wow, look at this guy at the 4 hole. Genty, A-Chain, Breece Hall, James Cook. He's getting his guy, bro. He's saying, I am him. That guy benches 225. Some ways are objectively better to live than others. Well, fair. Where are you working at on Sunday, brother? What's you a greenskeeper, man? All right, let's do. Oh, I would love to. Well, Worthy or Evans here is actually fine. We're at pick 42. Could take Hampton. What do we do? You know what, Davis? You love Xavier Worthy. Let's take Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is just objectively a good pick at 42. All right, Scott. I knew it. I knew it, Scott. I said a man starts Genty, A-Chain, Brees, James Cook. That dude benches 225. I knew it. Found out DK does cancel drafts as well. Had to canceled yesterday. Okay. I don't know. What do we think Kitchen is doing right now? I don't know. Kitchen is probably driving his kids somewhere, honestly, if I had to guess. What happened with Rashee Rice? Why didn't we know this was a possibility? What happened with Rashee Rice is that he took a plea deal, which was not anticipated because his criminal case, like the case that he was in, against the state of Texas, was not even on the docket yet. But surely what happened is the Chiefs and Rashee Rice's legal team were in communication with the state prosecutor's office and in communication with, the commissioner's office in terms of how long they were going to suspend him. And my guess, and this is just my guess, I'm not a lawyer, don't listen to me, I'm just a guy on the internet. But my guess is that the NFL said, if you guys get this taken care of with a plea deal, we will give you a 4-game suspension. No jail time, a little bit of probation. We will give you a 4-game suspension. That's just my guess. That. I could be wrong. Waddle, Ridley. I took Ridley on the last one. Let's do Jalen Waddle. I'm not buying Rashee at 35. No. I am going to move him back in my rankings to right about here, 45, 46, 47 range. I didn't know there was a Taylor Swift conspiracy. Enlighten me, Rick. What is the Taylor Swift Rashee Rice conspiracy? I would love to hear it. Isn't it 5 years probation with 30 days of time to serve over that 5? Yes. So he literally does have to go to he literally does have to go on a Friday and go to jail. Based on my understanding. Is the NFL allowed to do that? Sounds like tampering with the justice system didn't get tampered with. Rashee Rice and his lawyer agreed to a plea deal. With Rashee. Start over. Rashee Rice and his lawyers agreed to a deal with the Texas prosecutors. Now, the reason why Rice would have perhaps done that would have been because he got advice from the Chiefs or from the NFL that if he did the plea deal, his suspension would maybe not be 8 games, 10 games. It would be less onerous. Because the NFL doesn't like these storylines, and the Chiefs don't like these storylines, sitting and hanging out around there. DraftKings does pay me a little bit of money for the DraftKings stuff, yes. Half of my DraftKings deal is in cash, and half of it is in site credit. Not going to take Jennings here because I got him so late on the last one. You know what? I'm going to take Caleb Johnson here. Caleb Johnson, Josh Jacobs is a nice little running back pairing. Yeah, I do. I think that if Rashee Rice settles as a 5th round pick, it's going to be quite good. It would be hilarious if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, then the next day they hauled him away to jail, no celebrating the win. Well, I mean, think about this, dude. He could play the entire season, and then he could just go to jail on a Monday if he wanted. Again, based on my understanding of the situation, He can literally just go serve a day in jail whenever. They push it to 2026 so Kelsey can get a Super Bowl run and propose after winning. Don't doubt the long arm of Taylor Swift. All right, this is we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it is a good question. Is it okay to draft J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey on the same best ball team? I think the answer right now is they are just a smidgen too expensive. Just a light little bit. So like, for example, Harvey went in the 5th round here. Dobbins will probably go in the 10th round. I think that is a smidgen too expensive. But if you get a little bit of a discount, I think it's quite good. I'll tell you what, I actually do have them on a decent number of teams together because they were so cheap for a while. Well, Harvey wasn't, but Dobbins was. For like a 10-day period, I had J.K. Dobbins ranked like way ahead of ADP. I had him like, 20 spots ahead of ADP or whatever. Is smidgen Davis's favorite word? No, you guys know. Cromulent is definitely my favorite word. It's definitely cromulent. Yeah, you could scoop in like the 130s, 140s, which is actually what I've been doing. All right, here we go. Here's a say the line, Bart. You guys ready? Bang. Patrick Mahomes added to the team. Pat Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, Caleb Johnson, Puka Nacua, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, and Brock Bowers. Freaking fire team right now. Yes, cromulent is Davis's favorite word. Smidgen is Dave's favorite word. Yes. Accurate. Accurate indeed. Right after the news, you could still scoop him in the 160s. I had people in Discord arguing he shouldn't rise above Roshan. A great place, the Slappy Central Discord. Truly one of my favorite Discords to hang out and post on again. I really enjoy it. Embiggen, a noble spirit embiggins the smallest man. Which quarterback, based on matchup, do you believe is primed to potentially smash in Week 17? It's just a very hard thing for me to answer because what we think of as the best defenses right now are just not going to be the best defenses when we get to the season. Just never the way it works. I think this is an easy Emeka Egbuka selection. All right, did we make it up at wide receiver, not taking our second wide receiver until the 4th round? Puka, Worthy, Waddle, and Egbuka. I think that's actually a quite strong room. All right, answers to quarterback based on matchup. We've got Burrow, we've got Chuck, we've got Stafford, we've got Baker, Stroud, or Herbert. Anthony Richard runs in 3 versus the Jaguars in Week 17. Kyler is the inconvenient truth to Week 17. Bucks have not fallen enough since the Wirfs news. Now, Gatorbait, you gotta answer me this. Do you care that this news is not going to relate to the regular season or is not going to relate to the fantasy football playoffs? Because the Wirfs news is about it's the first month of the season. Now, obviously, he could suffer a re-injury, he could suffer a setback. All of that is possible. Was it a knee surgery, a knee cleanup? I don't know. what the exact. Someone's got to catch me up on exactly what it is, but my read of the situation was not like that we need to kill all of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And maybe, I mean, for all I know, it absolutely could be. But that was not my read of the situation. Do you guys have a read on this Tristan Wirfs stuff? I'm trying to pull up the Week 17 lines right now. Week 17 NFL lines. What's the other than Detroit, Minnesota? I don't even actually know any of the totals. 47.5 for Buccaneers Dolphins. 42.5 for Saints Titans feels low. 42.5 for Giants Raiders also feels low. I think Bucky did go down a smidge when Wirfs got injured. Ravens Packers 46.5 feels high. How about yeah, I mean Stafford Penix is pretty good in week 17. That one feels quite likely. Okay. Now, do I take Baker on this team if he's there at 103? Or do I need a wide receiver too bad? What's my favorite backlift? Underhand barbell row. So you get your deadlift bar, your deadlift, you put your 45s or your 25s on it or whatever, and so instead of gripping the bar overhand, and I am going to take Baker Mayfield here. Look at that. Look at that, Corain and Shady and Sacrilegious. I remember to click the button on the sidekick. So there we go, Mayfield at 103. You take the bar, turn your hands underneath, and you bend over it, and you pull it, and you just feel that crazy stretch as you're pinching your lats in there together. I mean, backlifts, there are so many great ones, but that one is definitely my favorite. Yes, I do subscribe to Renaissance Periodization, Dr. Mike Israetel on YouTube. But I got to be honest, of all the fitness influencers that I do follow, because they're science based and they have good evidence, I do not love Dr. Mike, just in the whole sense of like the whole deal. I wouldn't say he's like the greatest fitness influencer in the world. He tries to be very funny, and I don't think he's very funny. But he has great information. Aaron, I'll probably do 2 or 3 more, man. What I've been doing is I can see these numbers in my back end, like in my YouTube studio, and I've just been streaming until I get 1,000 views, because I think that for people who are watching them on replay, you guys tell me if you think this is true or not. If you see a video that already has 4 digits of views, like you're scrolling, you open your YouTube, you're about to eat or whatever, and you see a video that has 998 views versus one that has 1,000 views, in your brain, you're more likely to click on the one that has 1,000 views. J.K. Dobbins is actually freaking perfect for this team that has Caleb Johnson on it. I just think that getting until you have 1,000 views is more likely to beget more people watching in the future. I am a huge Jeff Nippard guy. Jeff Nippard is probably my favorite fitness influencer, health and wellness guy. I think his approach is the best. I think his data is the best. I think he is smart. I think he's personable. And I've read his books and stuff. I like him quite a bit. Probably after Bryce, because they've released 5 tournaments this week. I told Liam I had a nightmare. You won BBM with 60% Xavier Worthy, and he told me it must have been a wet dream. That's very funny. I missed the beginning. Is DK a new partner? Yes. So I am just partnered with DraftKings for this week. So for what was that? July 14th through July 20th? And then I will be doing another DraftKings Best Ball week later. That will be in August. But yes, I will still be doing drafts on Underdog. I get that. People say they're not going to watch back basically any live stream. Think that is totally valid. Yes, never watching a video with 32. Me either, right? Sad, you know. How does anyone grow on YouTube when this is the truth? When like you're just not going to click on a video with 32 views. Yeah, Jeff has a good balance range. I agree. And I this is less popular to say now, but I do still really like Andrew Huberman. You know, I think the good doc has a lot of great information, and I also like him too. All right. This feels like is this early for Hollywood Brown? This feels awful early for Hollywood Brown, doesn't it? What is his actual ADP? Hollywood Brown. Yeah, I'm not taking Hollywood here. Let's take Marvin Mims bring back. Yeah, Marvin Mims was the click there. ADP doesn't matter, dude. I like watching weirdo low view YouTube treasure. Maybe that just shows how much of a follower I am, Blue Jay. That I am a following person. This is a crazy thing, Chris. 2 weeks ago, Chris got on a plane outside of the top 50, $2.7 career $1 million in PGA winnings. Not even close to making the Ryder Cup roster. Not even close. He wins the Scottish Open. I think that was $2.5 million. T5s, the Open Championship. He's now like a lock to make the United States Ryder Cup roster. And he is, I mean, like, I think he 3x'd his career earnings in the last 2 weeks. What a move for the University of Oklahoma. Boy, Boomer Sooner. I was watching a live with 2 viewers the other night when rookies and sophomores open. Okay. I mean, that I think honestly probably says more about me. All right, I didn't get Hollywood. Hollywood went. I'm not even a Caleb Johnson guy, but I don't understand the Warren Price. I think we can all blame Pat Kerrane for that. I'm taking Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson is a guy I'm just trying to get way more of, and I think this is like honestly the most palatable his price is going to be. Like, what is going to happen? This is I actually think this is a good question. If Quinshon Judkins is on the exempt list, how high will Dylan Sampson's ADP get? I think that Dylan Sampson could probably sneak into the 80s. I think that if Judkins is on the commissioner's exempt list, 138. He's gonna blow past 138 with no news on Judkins. He's gonna blow past that. I think with Judkins on the commissioner's exempt list, he could get into this Mason Etienne range. I don't think he will get higher than Pollard. Dude, you just got to get a piece of those 5-team rushing touchdowns from the Browns. hey man, you can't really put a price on being a starting running back, even for the Browns. Yeah, I think the floor, it's probably more like where Tracy goes. Jerome Ford is just such a bad player. It's hard to, like, Sampson, we don't know how good he is, but Ford we know is not a good player. You know, Ford's had a long time in the NFL, and just never done anything. Dylan Sampson's not 19, is he? How old is Dylan Sampson? Dylan Sampson age. Dylan Sampson is 20, turning 21. Do we take Rachaad White here? I don't love it. What do we do here? Maybe it makes more sense to take a tight end. Not Ren, I guess not really. What's a wide receiver looking like? Besh. Actually, you know what? I'm taking Besh, actually. I can set up Geno next round potentially, but I like the wide receiver more there. I mean, I've never ever seen this before, but Jerome Ford renegotiated his contract to take less than the minimum of his contract to stay with the Browns. I've never seen a guy on a rookie scale contract take less money on his contract to stay with the team. That is totally foreign to me. We are so backed. Now, Ford could definitely be a serviceable running back too. I think Ford clearly has a role in the NFL as a serviceable running back too. But he just is not. He is not capable and will not be. He's just not going to be a lead running back in the NFL, and there is absolutely no shame in that. That's valid. All Ford does is tote the ball for them, and all they do is disrespect him. Ford outperforms his ADP almost every year. Do we want Dubs? Do we want a tight end? You know what? I just really like Mike Gesicki as a second tight end with the elite tight ends, because the only thing that he is going to do, there is no floor to taking Mike Gesicki, but he's got a giga ceiling. You know what? Ford in Dallas is funny because, like, to me, he basically is Rico Dowdle. Like, he is the most nondescript running back of all time. Yeah, he's a totally fine player. I think that is a great way to think about Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford is a totally fine player who is on, the worst team in the NFL. Jerome Ford's been in the NFL for 3 years. He has 316 rushes. He averaged 4.4 yards per carry. He's fine. Fair to say that, yeah, I think okay. Actually, Tiger Uppercut, Gesicki is fine for managed, because any game that T. Higgins or Jamar Chase is out, you can start him no problem. Well, that's obviously not exactly fair, because Roschon gets a bunch of goal line carries, and when you hit the end zone, you stop running. And touchdowns are much more valuable than yards. Well, Gesicki has always been a better in theory than, like, Mike Gesicki literally for his entire career has been better in theory than in practice. All right. We are about up at pick 175. Could take Chubb on this team. Chubb kind of makes sense here. No, we need a younger guy. It's not real. Actually, it's probably a better wide receiver pick. Let's take the double Raiders. Let's do Dante Thornton. So we have the full Raiders stack with no Geno. The original Kyle Pitts. It's so true. Jerome Ford is the reason teams don't need to pay a running back. Perfectly fine player. 100% right. Michael Hodson is absolutely correct. 1 yard TD run should be worth 11 yards, but only if you run through the back of the end zone. Gesicki chucked a football over his house, then ran through the garage and caught it. True. I honestly, you know what? Peppertoni made a good thing, which is I don't even really remember Mike Gesicki's stats from last year. I just think he had a good year. He only scored 2 touchdowns last year. Yes. Jerome Ford, 70-yard touchdown run, first play of the game against the Colts, then got injured. 100%. Yes. Gesicki last year only had 2 touchdowns. They came in the same game against the Raiders. He had 5 for 102. He did have a 12-target game against Denver, a 10-target game against Pittsburgh, a 9-target game against Kansas City, 9 targets against the Ravens, 8 targets against the Eagles. So he was involved. You know, Gesicki is certainly a part of their plan, you know. But I guess the reason for taking Gesicki is that he is the rare tight end who can make plays downfield, and that's relatively uncommon. But Gesicki only played over 50% of the snaps for the Bengals last year in 5 games, and he only played over 60% in 3 games. And one of them was in a game that he had no receptions. Yeah, Scheffler is the best golfer of like my golf viewing times. Hard to find one better. All right, we need a running back with this pick. Maybe a quarterback, actually. There we go. I'm actually going to take Richardson. I know Tim Holstead made a great comment. If you guys want to go read it from yesterday, he had a really good analysis of the 3 quarterback stuff. So I guess I should use this as a point to talk about taking 3 QBs, even with an elite QB. And basically Tim's criticism of the method I thought was really interesting, which is basically like week 17 is all that matters. So you should only care about week 17, which I largely agree with. However, you do have to get there. That's a huge part of the game. And we can say that that's not true. But at the end of the day, you need to just put as many shots on goal as possible because you don't have the ability to control what happens in week 15, week 16, and week 17. We know, I mean, Leone has done this study. Easy has done these studies. You know, third quarterbacks add more points to rosters than these late round guys do. Now, pushing back against that, you say, oh, but what about Puka? What about Kyron? And the answer is the Puka and Kyron stuff it's kind of like, you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like when you hit your number right when you sit down at roulette. My number is red 19. It's my favorite one to play. And you sit down at roulette, toss your $10 on red 19, you hit it, bam, 35-1. I'm rich. I can sit and play roulette all night and I'm never going to get back. And then you sit down and over time, you're giving back, right? Because you're not hitting your number. And that's a lot what late round picks are like. Whereas, you know, taking your Aaron Rodgerses, your Sam Darnolds, your Tuas, your Genos, your Staffords as your third quarterback is basically just it's small, but it is adding points to your roster, you know. Perfect. We are just going to take Miles Sanders on this team. Bada bing, bada boom. Really good pick there. So the reason why it might not make a ton of sense the way I'm explaining it, but basically taking the third quarterback actually makes your week 17 teams better because it is giving you a greater opportunity to get teams to week 17 as opposed to taking De'Ami Brown, Kareem Hunt, DJ Giddens. I mean, Miles Sanders, who I just took, is like so likely to be a 0, right? And I guess maybe taking Richardson isn't the best example because he also has a lot of 0s in his range. Maybe the better one to do it is like with a Rodgers or whatever. All right, Ben asked favorite St. Louis golf course. I mean, this one is not even close. It's Annbriar, which isn't technically in St. Louis. It's in the metro. It's like a 40-minute drive, maybe like a 30-minute drive south of the city. But it is reasonably priced. It is super nice. If you're really good at golf, you can play from the tips, and it plays, I think, about 6,800 yards. Like if you are, if you're a scratch, I am not. I'm like, my app says I'm like a 14.5 now, which I think feels a little bit, that feels rich. I don't think I'm a 14. I think I'm more like a 16. But Annbriar for sure. If you're ever in the St. Louis metro, I think it's like if you go during the week, it's only like $80. I would really encourage you to try and get out there and play. For a public golf course, it's really, really nice. You know what? I've earned myself. Let's live a little. Let's take Darren Waller. More dice rolls is good, but I don't think it's so cut and dry. We're playing for absolute upside in these contests. Well, yes, we are playing for absolute upside, but I think that overstates. I think we sort of overstate how much control we have over the outcomes of individual players and if and when they hit. And I think if you kind of take a more nihilistic approach to the activity, you will say the only thing that I can control for is the types of rosters that are more likely to get to the finals. And if you want to think about it from a week 17 perspective, if that's the only way your brain can get there, you can get to, maybe Anthony Richardson, maybe your third quarterback has this crazy good game and is lower owned in the final. Your Mahomes teams get some there. I will for sure be maxing the DraftKings Millionaire Maker best ball. 100% I will be maxing. Mr. Master, it is the exact same concept as this. It's a similar concept to how much value having 18 active players on your team in week 17 is. I always have the sidekick up. I don't always take the top guy on the sidekick, but I don't think it's gotten to this point yet that so many people are going 3 quarterback that it doesn't recommend it as much anymore because it's more about the points available. That would be a better question for Shady or Sacrilegious. But if they liked Jerome Ford so much, why would they draft Judkins and Sampson? That doesn't make any sense to me. Normally if you like a player, you don't draft their replacements. That would just be what do I know, man? Liam loves Jerome Ford and Liam has won millions of dollars, so maybe listen to Liam. Kyle Manungai, shout out to you. This is fine. Shout out to you, brother. Elite or delete my team. Which one were you, brother? I will. The sidekick 3 quarterback pilling the entire ship chasing verse after being dismissive of it for years is triggering. I will say this, Center 425. You can go check the tape. You can go check the tape on this. But I have been more of a 3 quarterback bro than the rest of the ship chasing verse, particularly in early drafts before training camp because it's just a way to avoid zeros. You guys can check the tape on this. Tell me if you think I'm lying. I promise I'm not. Okay. 4-hole, elite or delete. My boy, scoop it out of the 4-hole. Lamb, Brown, McBride, Sutton at 45. Brother, if you're gonna take an old, you gotta take Tet or JMO there. Kamara, famously a great ship chasing auto click. Jacoby Myers, dude, this is so sexless. Sutton, Kamara, Myers, Pacheco. Dak with CD, Fields, Shaheed, Njoku, Jaden Blue. He don't care that he's lazy. Cedric Tillman, Romeo. This is the least sex a fantasy football roster has ever had. Not Shadur, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You're getting a delete here. I love you and I thank you for watching and I thank you for being a channel member, but I can't get with this, man. Oh, and the sidekick is even telling me I can take Jalen Royals right now. Hell yeah. I don't think oh. Okay, I'll give you okay, let's do Del Molino, McCaffrey, Ladd, Josh, Kittle. Dude, you're too far. Elite quarterback, elite tight ends, too hard to pull off. May, Stevenson, Josh Palmer, dude. I don't know. This team's fine. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll give you a B+. Elite, delete, or celibate. Yeah, I'm giving my boy Versace a celibate. People just want it to be so binary that 3 quarterbacks either good or bad. Yes, and I mean so much of it is also related to the cost, and the costs are rising, right? Across the board. The costs are rising. All right. We did Puka, Bowers, Jacobs, Worthy, Waddle, Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson maybe should have just been a wide receiver, honestly. That is a bit of a mistake. Maybe should have just been Jennings. Got Igbuka, took Mayfield, Dobbins, Mims, Sampson at 138, Besh, Gesicki, Thornton, Richardson, Miles Sanders, Darren Waller, Kyle Monungai, Jalen Royals. That team's fine. My team at 3. Lamb, Brown. Oh no, did that one. Gibbs at 3. I like the initiative. Garrett Wilson, Lamar, Tet. This dude's pissing. Hell yeah. Flowers, Olave, Addison, Ingram, Nix, Judkins at 118. You're playing it light. Bateman, Likely, Najee, Benson, Wright. Oh, Calvin Austin, hate it. Oh, not good. Lloyd, Noah Gray, not good. Sean Tucker, Troy Franklin. Your team is fine, but you just took guys who were not going to score any points. Like, what are you hoping to get out of Calvin Austin or Noah Gray, brother? I do love that you just showed up and absolutely pissed yellow, though. Shout out to you. All right, is he still benching 225 at the 12? This is the guy who started 4 running backs: Genty, A-Chain, Brees, Cook, Ridley, Adunze, Downs, Reed, Kraft, and Love, Hollywood Brown, Kyle Williams, Stafford. What was the point of taking Stafford here? Geno, Stafford. This is just an uncorrelated mess. Scott. It's just like, I think you can't. I don't know, man. I think you honestly would have been better off taking Rodgers, or I don't know. Your stacks, I guess you just got DraftKings, really, I guess is what it is. Probably your only way out of here would have been to take 2 quarterbacks here. You would have had, you got sniped on Caleb. I don't know. And you got sniped on Ward too. Tough scene. 11 elite or delete. Nico, BTJ, Rice, JSN, Harvey, Henderson, Brian Robinson, Pollard. So 4 wide receivers, 4 running backs. Higgins, Stroud, McCarthy. Why McCarthy? What's the point? Not loving the McCarthy pick. I just don't see the point. Leggett, Chig, Chubb, Justice Hill, Juwan Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Jalen Naylor. That's a delete. That's a delete. Not your fault. Sometimes it just happens. Max Lenski is team 6. He got Barkley at 6, AJ Brown, T. Higgins, Amari and Hampton. This team's really good. Hunter, Jennings, Shakir. Don't love that. Mooney, Purdy with Jennings, Jalen Warren's your running back 3, Lawrence with Hunter, Penix with Mooney, Guerrendo, Strange with Lawrence, Alec Pierce, Rico Dowdle, get it. Don't love Freiermuth. Don't love Higbee. Don't love Sinnott. You just should not have taken Freiermuth. Should have taken or either don't take Freiermuth or don't take Sinnott. But that's really good. I'll give you B+. Am I scared of Team 5? I don't know. What if I review every freaking team in this draft, every pick? Bijan, Reek, Adams, Daniels at 44, Pickens, Samuel, got the bring back, got the stack, David Montgomery running back 2, Mason running back 3, Ayuk, Andrews, fire. I like the Daniels, Andrews pairing. It's really unique combinatorically. Burden, Tootin, Tua with Tyreek, Ertz with Daniels, Jerome Ford, Jalen Noel, Darius Slayton, Jackson Dart, Harold Fannin, Jordan James. That's elite. That was the best team of the draft. Black Muddy River 89. That was the best. All right. Elite. After this, I'm going to the next draft. And also, I should have reinstituted the policy that you have to do a super chat for a sauce. We're bringing it back. Got to do a super chat for a sauce. All right. This isn't even you, Joey. This isn't even you. Yeah, the policy has to be enforced. Okay. Back to the lobby. Bang. Get her done. Got to do the timestamps here. Oh, see, it didn't do the white box this time. It just took me right in. What's 2 million minus 199? Need people for the $7 draft on DraftKings. There you go. Go help my boy Matt out. How many likes do we have on this? 70 likes? There are 242 of you watching and we have 70 likes. What do you guys hate me? You guys don't like someone to hang out with on a Sunday? That's embarrassing, bro. You guys are not a good community. Yeah, no, free sauces given out. I was 70th, but I understood the assignment. Nimble Fingies. Start building non-chase 1 teams for the next month straight. That I'm not doing. And I'm not doing it for a very simple reason, which is that you only get so many chances to draft Jamar Chase, and you don't, not a guy you want to be light on. Like, you could be light on Jamar Chase. Well, Gator Bait, I could tell you, I had this same decision for myself this morning. I woke up and I hurt my knee walking True story. So I did neither. So I'm gonna tell you back. Today is a tricky day to be doing legs. So I want you to do back. Dead ass. Here, let me read you the text message conversation I had with my wife this morning. My wife is out walking the dog. I just did something to my right knee and I legit cannot walk. She says, what? I said, I stepped out of the bathroom and I turned and like actually fell down. It hurt so bad. I said, I have no idea what caused this. I just woke up and walked just fine. When I turned the corner into the new nursery to go get my clothes, I planted my right foot and my whole leg collapsed. 100% dead ass real. Recovering from a broken ankle, your streams have helped me through. Back to the gym. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Love to hear that shit. There was a guy in here named yesterday, Patrick Cleggett, who said that he has lost over 250 pounds. Wherever you, Patrick, I don't know if you're watching today, but if you are, I just want you to know that stuck with me. That was very cool. I love hearing that shit. Honestly, Marshawn Lloyd-esque injury. That's called being in your mid 30s, man. That's so gnarly. Idea for a structured draft. Do a weekly winners and only take players with a week 8 bye. Week 8 is supposed to be real good this year. By the way, for the audio listeners, I did just take Justin Jefferson at the 1.2. Is there anything better than being able to start a draft with Justin Jefferson? Very few things are that good in life. Just, you're feeling great. Did Scotty get presented with the trophy already? I get a lot of teams with the Cards plus Bucks recover, and I find myself preferring Kyler to Baker. Am I crazy? I don't think you are. If you're looking at Kyler versus Baker, first off, they both attended the greatest university to play football at, known to man. University of Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. But Kyler's highs are just going to be so much higher than Baker's highs. Baker, what was Baker's touchdown rate last year? Off the top of my head, I bet it was 7.5. Do we think it was higher or lower than that? God, did I nail it on the head? 7.2%, career 5%, 4.9% the year before for Tampa Bay. I think Kyler, if Kyler just runs, like what Kyler didn't really run last year. How many rushing yards did Kyler have last year? Kyler had 572 rushing yards last year. If he gets to 800 rushing yards, he is going to blow Baker out of the water. Yeah, Baker will never, ever be this expensive ever again. Scotty's baby, old Bennett Scheffler, stealing the show. All right, what are we going to do? Jefferson Bucky, maybe? Jefferson McBride, Jefferson T, Jefferson Reek. What do we do? I wouldn't mind taking Tyreek here. Yeah, we'll do Tyreek. I don't think you can say you've seen the best of him. Yeah, let's take Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown. Not as much as I liked him last year, but I do like him. If there was a Men in Black style reset of the ADP, are there any this is actually, Peppertoni, this is one of my favorite questions, which is how would these guys go without the anchoring, of what we've already thought of them. That is one of my favorite things. I think Fields way up. Absolutely. I think that's a good one. Everyone, give me your answers to this question because I think it's fascinating. I think you would see DJ Moore go down a lot. I think you would see DJ Moore go down a ton. Like 30 picks based off of Loveland and Burden. J.K. Dobbins would go you know what? If you men in blacked yourself, I think that R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins would flip. Truly, I think it would be like a total like if you were just presented with the data as it exists now and the projections as they are now, Dobbins would go up so much further. Diggs would go up a ton. A-Chain would be a first round pick. Who else? Hunter, honestly, pains me to say it. Hunter would fall a lot. Hunter would fall like 20, 25 picks, I think, if we men in blacked, honestly. Yeah, biggest pure riser would be Dobbins, though. That's a good one. If any of you guys are watching on the replay, what do you think the men in black situation would be? Would Kelsey go lower? I don't know. Yeah, Hampton would continue to rise though. Roshan Johnson should be higher. Did you see Monangai running slow in camp? Well, I saw Monangai running slow at Rutgers. Goddard would come back to where he was pre-trade rumors to right around Kelsey Andrews. The Goddard trade rumors never made a ton of sense, but I guess they were there. I mean, Kittle is already way up, man. How much higher could Kittle go? Yeah, I don't think like Kittle just went at 36 in this draft. How much higher can you reasonably say that he should go? QJ might go higher now that we are the furthest away from actually seeing him play. That's a good question. Where do you think Rashi will settle? I mean, obviously part of that is we need to figure out the length of the actual suspension. You know, how long will the suspension be? I think he will settle in this range that I'm right about to pick right here. 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, you know, with Hunter, with Ridley, with J-Mo, Devonta Smith, George Pickens, Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, just it, and it'll all be, you know, personal preference and flavor. All right. I will be selecting Jameson Williams for the week 17 correlation. Jefferson and J-Mo. I mean, that's probably a really common pairing, but I don't care. I'm about to piss from the 5-hole. 2 games in the 30s, 4 games, 45, 6 game in the 60s. I think if it's 6 games, it will be lower than that, but I think your other numbers are accurate. What do we do here? You know what? Welcome to the team, Alvin Kamara. Welcome to the team, old man. Balance my range. No rookies and sophomores for me. Still getting Worthy in the 4th. I guess he will never rise high enough just because folks thinks he stinks. I will be buying Xavier Worthy through the entirety of this best ball summer. Just no way you are keeping me from buying him. Peppertoni says he doesn't care about the suspension at all. 6 games at the beginning of the season. Wait, I did that wrong. I sleep. 4th round strategy is basically Brees, Hampton, Worthy every time. Agreed. Dude, you got to get there first. I think, so the key with Rice is you just have to draft intelligently around him. You need to be taking lots of chaperones. Like your combinatorial ownership of Adam Thielen and Rashee Rice should be real high. I agree. Pickens should probably move up a little bit more. Scott missed this draft, joined another. Some guy just got Bijan Bowers at the 3. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I should tweet that we are still live, because I bet people don't even know. Quote tweet, still live. Come celebrate the post Scotty win. Yeah, you gotta get lots of Wandales and Douglases. Do not give me any Jalen Naylor propaganda around here. Yeah, I'll do one more probably. A Xavier Worthy truther. Andrew didn't know I was live. You gotta press the noties, dude. Gotta press that notification bell so you know. Basically, I plan on, for the next 48 days, 47 days, I think. How many days? How many days till the season starts? How many days until the NFL season starts? God, there's nothing worse than Google AI. 46 days. For the next 46 days, I will be live every day other than the day of my home league fantasy football draft, which is Saturday, August 2nd. And I'm taking a short trip with my wife in the middle of August to the East Coast. And I won't be live on those days, but I'll obviously have pre-recorded videos out for you guys on those days as well. What comes first, red zone or 5K ETH? Not 5K ETH. No, I'm not increasing my Bitcoin purchases. Same amount as always. Every single day. Just buy a little bit of Bitcoin, log out. You never have to worry about it a day in your life. God, that was brutal. Did you guys see that? RJ Harvey goes 1 pick before. Oh, horrible. Horrible. I'm going to take Isaiah Pacheco over DeAndre Swift here. Why do I hate ETH? I just think it's a castle. It's a castle built on sand, brother. God, I need to watch. You know what? I'm taking Jordan Addison. I don't care. Be suspended. Whatever you want. Okay, Brian. I need you to logic me out on this one. Michael Myers healthy and a solid tight end in his own right. Bowers will assuredly regress. Where are you getting that from? Give me any logic or meaning or thought that would indicate that Brock Bowers is going to quote unquote regress. I gotta hear it. Because I gotta be honest, man, that is gonna be a tough sell. I don't really believe that in any way, shape, or form. Am I taller than RJ Harvey? No chance. I don't even know how tall he is, but there's no chance. Don't think I'm buying it. What does Ethereum do, brother? Ethereum don't do nothing. Ethereum is a centralized mess of a. It's not even really a crypto, you know. Can't do anything on it. It's been rolled back by a centralized agency. There's literally an Ethereum foundation. There's a person or people who are in charge. What is the point of it? That's the thing, coolers. I wasn't that pumped because I wasn't sure it counted. That course that I was playing at is actually Joe King is from here. So he might know this place. It's just this little par 3 pitch and putt. And I was we're an hour, 2 hours into the stream. So I had this new idea that I want to do my YouTube shorts while like skateboarding or golfing, like literally have a wireless lavalier microphone on my collar and be like, boom, crooked grind. You should draft Xavier Worthy in your fantasy draft. Or, Amarian Hampton is an awesome pick at the 3-4 turn. Bang, hit the putt. Or like literally do it while I'm doing my putting stroke or whatever. But my wireless microphone died when I got to the golf course. So I was just filming all the shots, I guess, just to try and do it. And I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting the ball to get that close. And dude, the ball mark was like that close to going in the hole. Would have been cool, obviously. Tiger is Scotty the best since Rory? I don't think, or Tiger can't be the best. God, Davis can't talk. Scotty can't be the worst. Davis, Jesus Christ. No, Scotty is not the best since Tiger. Rory is the most accomplished. Obviously, Scotty is on pace. Sean, I promise you that I bought Ethereum before you even knew what crypto was, brother. I would wager I was one of the first 30,000 people on Earth to own Ethereum, probably. Yeah, my brain literally just stopped working right there. It was really bad. Okay. Tight end, Evan Ingram actually makes some sense here. Does Evan Ingram make sense here? It might not. That might just be in my head. I know I need one of Goff or McCarthy. God, Goff already went. Actually, okay, pivot. Take Fields, and it doesn't matter if you don't get McCarthy. Take Fields, and it doesn't matter. Do we take Mason? Do we take Ayuk? Actually, I'm just gonna take Ingram. I want to fill the tight end slot. Gotta fill the starting lineup, dude. What is the more competition that Bowers has? You're saying Dante Thornton and Jack Besh are the more competition? Having a hard time believing that. You don't like the Fields take? I mean, the Fields take, if you're not a Fields guy, it's very hard to believe. But I think Fields is an awesome option. Oh, he wanted him on the wrap. Yeah, I think Fields is an awesome option on game stack teams when the quarterbacks go. Like, where did Goff go? Goff went at 87 for no reason. I guess not for no reason. Whatever, that's fine. But if you're trying to replace those points in a non-correlated way, yeah, didn't Fields get benched for Russell Wilson after he he scored like 1 billion points. Didn't he have like 30 points in the game he got benched? Where does Efton Chisholm go when we get confirmed camp reports of Edelman's reincarnation? All right. Here's a good bit. Shill me your best 20th round pick on DraftKings. Shill me your most disgusting, putrid team. Just show me like Efton Chisholm, Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watt, Noah Brown. Exactly. Give me that. Yeah. For Twan, I already know it's Torrey Horton or Ricky White. Taysom Hill, I don't think counts because he's injured. Rocket Sanders, A.D. Mitchell, Isaac Tesla, Ty Johnson is a good one. Kendre Miller. Oh, multiple Luke Musgrave shares is crazy. That's crazy. That's too much, bro. Sean Tucker, yeah, he's not that gross. Kenny Pickett, all right, it's a little bit on the nose for the Bowers fader to say Kenny Pickett. Yeah, 80 Mitchell in the 80 and Dontavian Wicks in the 20th round. Jalen Milroe, of course, he definitely could. Curtis Samuel, Trevor Etienne. Oh, I can't co-sign this. I cannot co-sign Nick Westbrook-Akeen. All right, where are we at on this team? We've got Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Chase Brown, Jameson Williams, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Addison, Justin Fields, and Evan Ingram. I think I played that right, actually, taking Fields. Aronde Gadsden, that is not gross. That is just fire. I almost took Josh Reynolds once. Glad I talked myself off that ledge. Can't do the Restrepo thing either. Malik Washington, I think, is good. Best answer is Aronde Gadsden. That just shows to me that you absolutely know ball. That your ball knowledge is 10 out of 10. Ollie Gordon, again, love it from Mr. Lenski here. Just close your eyes, pretend 2024 didn't happen. I'm happy to do that pretend. Oh, not Cole Kmet, bro. Phil Maffa, ball knower. Gadsden is one more video away from being the new Slappy flavor. Yeah. Our friends over at Legendary Upside, they're going to be the Legendary Upside people, Karain and Sack and all these guys. Hold on, let me take JJ McCarthy here. They're gonna be that meme, you know, the guy holding the hands of the girl looking away, and it's gonna be Harold Fannin going to Aronde Gadsden. Absolutely. I don't need to take May here. It's a little bit of. Is there anyone who's an ADP value? Not really. I suppose I need a wide receiver. All right, here we go. Slot demon. Dude, we just took the slot demon. You know the guys in Houston have been calling Christian Kirk the slot demon? Kayshawn Booty. Jacob Cowing. Cowing's pretty gross. Hey man, I don't need to deal. I don't need to deal with the ETH bros, brother. Time, it's already played out. Bitcoin is the greatest investment and greatest thing known to man. But if you would like to, you know, it's your God-given right to go buy Ethereum if you would like. I bought Ethereum for the first time when it was $44, and I don't feel any need to own that asset anymore. But I would, if you wanna go buy punks or participate in decentralized finance, you should go for it. Am I crazy for taking a ton of Jermaine Burton and Troy Franklin in the 20th? Burton feels pretty crazy. I click Elijah Moore. I have Elijah Moore like ranked pretty aggressively. Arroyo's good. Do not say DeMarcus Robinson. Saying DeMarcus Robinson to me is like saying Ethereum to me. What do I think about the stablecoin regulation passing? I mean, I would say I'm probably more I'm more pro stablecoins than the average Bitcoin person. But my understanding of the stablecoin legislation is that the United States federal government wants to create a central bank digital currency, which I am opposed to. I am opposed to CBDCs. No, me personally, I am anti CBDC. Bro just said Mac Nova just admitted to taking Brandon Cooks. Bro, imagine saying to people, looking them in the eye and saying, you know what I've been doing? I've been drafting some Brandon Cooks, bro. Bitcoin equals Caleb Johnson. I don't know if that's a compliment, but I hope it is. To be honest, I don't keep up with news and legislation all that much for crypto stuff because I don't care. I do not purchase any cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. I own a little bit of Solana left over from years ago. And that's it. I don't own any Ethereum. I don't own any stable coins. I am past the point of wanting to participate in that stuff in my life. I have Bitcoin in cold storage, and that's it. I've taken some Roman Wilson as well. I'm much less hip to Roman. Oh, Dylan Sampson at 137. I would have loved him there. If Jimmy, did you guys see this? By the way, Jimmy Graham did. He just rode. He literally just rode across some like Arctic ocean. Did you guys? This is real. This man, my man Benji, my man Benny is telling the truth. He said if Jimmy Graham, apparently an Arctic rowing record holder, can score 4 touchdowns in 2023, which also did happen, then Cooks can get 3 to 4. I gotta go. You guys gotta see this. Jimmy Graham rowing. This dude. I mean, it's very cool. I love stuff. This is Jimmy Graham, bro. This is Jimmy Graham now. Bro is rowing across the Arctic Ocean. Talk about staying hard. All right. Do we take our third quarterback now? Is there anyone else I really want to take? We are at pick 1. Should I take Najee at pick 129? You know what? I'm doing it. How about a pick 143, Najee Harris? Yeah, I believe Graham did just recently finish the row. What do I do here? Oh, Girendo. Haven't been pumping the Girendo meme coins. Yeah, very interesting guy. Wow, he was a seaplane captain. Me personally, I love a slight psychopath out of my football players. You don't really need 2 eyes to find the end zone. That's what I'm saying, brother. All right, so let's recap the team here. Bit of a strange build. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Chase Brown, Jamison Williams, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Addison, Justin Fields, Evan Ingram, J.J. McCarthy, Christian Kirk, Najee Harris, and Isaac Guerrero. Dylan Sampson Moon, says Jimmy. I don't disagree with you. Thoughts on Justin Herbert as a top 5 to 8 fantasy quarterback? Tell me, I just don't buy it, not because Herbert himself is not good or can't do it. But even as this is actually true, Herbert and the Chargers after their bye week last year, they were actually positive PROE, and he still ended up with only 504 passing attempts, didn't get to 4,000 yards, 23 passing touchdowns. Not to say that is his floor or his ceiling, because it certainly isn't. He also runs a little bit. He's averaged 15 and a half rushing yards per game in his career. He has 13 rushing touchdowns in his career. But what I am concerned about with Harris is that I don't think, frankly, at the end of the day, I just don't know. He's just not quite that good. In my opinion, he just is a tier below that. It's possible, but it's like, okay, who is he outscoring? So he's not going to outscore Allen. He's not going to outscore Hurts. He's not going to outscore Daniels. He's not going to outscore Lamar. So he's got to be the 5th. And then it's like, okay, well, you got Mahomes, you got Burrow. Honestly, like, you even have like Dak. Like, is he going to outscore Dak? I don't think so. You know, it's close. It's possible. Yeah, and their wide receiver 3s have mostly been terrible. I mean, I think that Herbert is like probably a positive EV click where he goes. Like, is there a meaningful difference between where did he go in this one? So I guess he actually went way ahead of May in this one. But I do think a great example of people being slappies is Herbert going so much ahead of May. Like, let's just be real. They should basically project the same. Herbert and May, and in fact, Herbert obviously has just been a better NFL player than Drake May. I mean, is that even controversial? Is that controversial to state that Justin Herbert has been better than May? But yet the slappies, we're all trying to find the guy who's done this. You know, the slappies absolutely love Drake May. It's true. Trey Harris has the highest yards per route run I've ever seen of a college prospect. Like, just absolutely unbelievable stuff. All right, we need a wide receiver here. Besh is the ADP value. Douglas is some week 17 correlation. Let's do the week 17 correlation with old Pop Douglas, and he's just a good pick on DraftKings anyway. Herbert 6th highest odds to win MVP on DraftKings. I mean, I'm sorry, man. That is preposterous. I've got an idea on what to do on tight end on this team, so just sit and let me cook, guys. Let's do Jalen Wright with Tua. I think Trey Harris is probably going to be good too. Herbert is a way better real-life quarterback, but his offense is designed to make him more efficient through less volume. I mean, New England basically has no plan other than to do this, other than to just let Drake May cook. Yeah, I mean, I'm not negging Justin Herbert. I don't want this to come out as me negging him, but it's like, if the Chargers coaching staff gets their way, Herbert will finish as the quarterback 11. Everyone come bet. I wouldn't bet JJ McCarthy for MVP. Now, okay, is JJ McCarthy a la Donovan Mitchell eligible for Rookie of the Year? I don't think he is, but have we got a ruling on this? Because if you could bet JJ McCarthy for Rookie of the Year a la Donovan Mitchell, that would be a bet I would be loving to make. Yes, I absolutely agree with this, Nick. Completely agree that if Herbert had Joe Burrow's weapons, couldn't agree more. Yeah, I don't think he could. But keep in mind the NBA literally did let Ben Simmons win Rookie of the Year when it was not his first season playing. So funny. This could be about anything. Jared says that's wrong. Could literally be about anything, which is so funny. I love hanging out with you guys, man. Nowhere I'd rather be on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, hold on. I gotta. You guys. Do you guys even remember this? This was the least cool thing an NBA athlete has ever done. This was so lame. Donovan Mitchell and Adidas made these rookie T-shirts. It says rookie, an athlete playing his or her first season as a member of a professional sports team. Do you guys remember that? That was so lame. Would anyone be shocked if Herbert had a 3,800 yard, 35 plus touchdown campaign? I mean, he's literally done it. I agree. Oh, hey man, Fantasy Flock came on the channel and he sold me on Quinton Johnston. I am a believer. The definition is the definition. You're not wrong. Didn't Simmons play in the preseason? Yeah. I think Herbert is an awesome click. I think getting Trey Harris with him is nice. Now, Ty, you make a good point. Give me a credit default swap on all this Herbert hype. All right, I'm gonna take Tyler Shuck here. Tyler Shuck is my third quarterback with Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy. Kind of a scary quarterback room here. Quite odd. Quinton means drop in Spanish. Unpopular opinion, Chargers win the division. That is an unpopular opinion. It's unpopular in the sense that I don't agree with it. Wide receiver. What wide? Sidekick won't let me give any of them. We'll do... You know what? I'm getting weird on this one. Taking Brashard Smith. Because I have this idea of what I want to do with my final two picks. I have not seen any Najee. I'm probably on the clock in... I bet I'm on the clock in 47 slow drafts. Honestly, truly. I bet if I had to guess right now, I bet I'm on the clock in 47 slow drafts. And I will wrap up with them when I'm done with this stream. Well, I can tell you there is at least going to be one more big promotional week on DraftKings. There will be I don't remember which week it's going to be in August, but there's going to be a huge DraftKings best ball week in August. So they will probably start to fill a ton more. If you had to do all slow drafts or all fast drafts for the entire draft season, which would you choose? Probably slow. Well, it's an interesting question for me, Peppertoni, because obviously I stream so many of them, and streaming slow drafts. The only one is I mean, I do so many slow drafts, but I have to stream these drafts. The only one who can do the slow drafts is Ben Gretsch. Ben Gretsch was the master of the format. I mean, the thing with slow drafts is you're never going to get the total volume of drafts that you want to do only doing fast. Like I kind of set the goal this year of having 2,000 drafts done. And, you're never going to, like, how much time would taking 2,000 fast drafts take for me? And I can even do, I can do 5 at a time in 20-second drafts. I did 5 at a time last night. I did, that's just the name of the game. I absolutely agree with this. For me, the sidekick is really nice. With this, like I do, I did for the little Dalmatian. I literally just did. I just entered ranks and just auto drafted them. RE, the hole-in-one tweet. I'm of the mindset that if you have to ask if it's a hole-in-one, it isn't a hole-in-one. I think that's fair, and I think at the end of the day, I'm glad that I didn't make it. End of the day, I think I'm glad that one didn't go in, because it would have been annoying. Not annoying, but I think I knew in my heart of hearts. Wow, Coolers with the gifted and Lestoic with the gifted. Anyone who just got a membership, I'm happy to see you guys in the Discord. I got a little fun fact for you guys. It's Harold Fannon's birthday, and that's what I wanted to do at tight end today. So I just took Harold Fannon. Thank you guys for the gifted membies. And then the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to take Gadsden. I wanted to do a team today with Gadsden and Fannon. A true slappy tight end room if there ever were one. Thank you, fellas, to gifteds. They should. I agree, 100%. I agree. I think they shouldn't have done that. Now, this is very funny. Pepper Tony himself can't become a member because of he can't get gifted members because he's got like a weird like brand setting on his account. But I appreciate him gifting a member. I mean, it doesn't, the difference between a super chat and a memby doesn't matter to me. I would just say it's more useful for a membership because you get something out of it. You get to hang out in the Discord. You get to submit your teams for elite or delete on Friday, members only videos, all of that stuff. I just got down to the coffee grounds at the end of my coffee. That was pretty disgusting. That was really gross. How's your boy Jaden Blue? Word on the street is I'm hearing he's a snooze. I mean, I can't make heads or tails of that report. It feels like a crazy report to have gotten out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like what Cowboys coach is coming out and telling this old coach that Jaden Blue is lazy? It does. If something doesn't make sense to me there. Something is rotten in Denmark. Now, again, to Pepper Tony's point, if you have to tweet about how production silences the haters before your first NFL snap, it's not great. It's not great. All right, how are we going to close it? Should I take a fourth tight end? When Harold Fannon and Aronde Gadsden are your tight ends, you probably should take another one. We've got Fields, Chase Brown, Kamara, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jameson Williams, Evan Ingram, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Addison, J.J. McCarthy, Christian Kirk, Najee Harris, Isaac Guerrero, Demario Douglas, Jalen Wright, Tyler Shuck, Brashard Smith, Harold Fannon, and Aronde Gadsden. Is there any... I guess I could take Ty Felton on this team. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take Ty Felton on this team. Or maybe Tesla. Wow. SC Magic Johnson with the $50 super sticker. That is a W on a Sunday afternoon. Just, I'm going to give him a little treat. Look at that kibble you just bought, bro. Oh, did Tesla just get picked? He did literally just get picked. Unbelievable. Dang. All right, Ty Felton. Had to do the $49.99. You just bought so much creatine. Pupper's getting fed. Hell yeah, brother. How we feeling about Ritter taking Burrow's job? All right, someone just did elite or delete for the 3-hole. Let's do it. 3-hole. Lenski did CD, Bucky, McBride, Devonta and Hurts. Love it. Harvey at 70. Love it. Myers, I probably would have taken Diggs, but it's fine. I don't think you should have taken Kyler here. I think you should have taken Higgins, Ayuk, whatever. I think you didn't need another quarterback. Burden, love it. Spears, Ferguson. Ferguson is your tight end too. I don't love. Benson with Kyler, Eckler, Besh, Shipley, Slayton, Tolbert, Dart, Noah Brown. I'm giving you the elite, brother. Giving you the elite. That's very strong. Very, very strong. Team 9 from Mr. Carls. Elite or delete. Nico Collins, Drake London, Kyron Hampton, Waddle, Olave, Pollard, Igbuka, Dobbins. Stroud at 112 with Nico. Kincaid. I should give him the delete just for taking Kincaid. Stafford with Kyron. Don't love it. You're treading water here. Tua with Waddle. Ertz, Chig, Wilson, Taylor, Atwell, JCM, and Phil Maffa. Gosh. I got to be honest, man. I'm not enamored with it. I don't really think you made any mistakes. I think you just kind of got unlucky. Like, all these quarterbacks getting ripped. I took Shuck from you. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to give you a delete. I'm going to give you a compete. I'm going to give you a compete. Not going to give you a delete. I'm going to give you a compete. Let's see here. How many likes do we have? We have 130. If you guys can get to 170, I'll do another. If you can't get to 170, I'm going to go play with my dog. So it's really up to you guys. If you get to 170, sure. Can we get a State Farm ad? You can. Yes, you can.
The Davis Maddock YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
There is, okay, so this is, I guess this is annoying. There is merch on the channel, but I can't link it to the actual YouTube store, Stefan, because there's something wrong with my settings on Spotify or whatever. Big Rojo liked and subbed already. Well, that's how I know you're a great person. But it's basically, Stefan, I'll tell you what, it's one of these things. The only people involved in producing things on this YouTube channel are me. I do the thumbnails. I do like all these, like basically everything that I do, thumbnails, social media, all that stuff. It's all me. There's no help. So like doing the Shopify store would be something that a big YouTuber would pay someone to do for them. And I don't have the time to do it. Yes. Yeah. Also, not great. Figuring all this stuff out, but it's basically like figuring all that stuff out, would take, 5 hours, and I just don't have that time. What brand of creatine do you take? Would you recommend even if you aren't lifting? Absolutely, 100%. I would recommend creatine to all of you, even if you do not take, even if you're not lifting. And brand doesn't really matter. I buy Raw Nutrition, but that's just because that's where I buy my other supplements. You can get the NutriCost brand on Amazon for, I think, like 50 cents a serving, or maybe even less than 50 cents a serving, and it's fine. There you go. Lestoic offering to help because he's been in e-commerce marketing for 18 years. All right, boys. I didn't even check. Did you get to the requisite amount of likes? How many? 171. All right, there you go. We'll do one more, and then I'm out of here. One more, then we're moving on for the day. I think because Raw Nutrition now has a deal with Walmart, Sam's Club. I don't think creatine helps you grow a stash. You can take collagen. Collagen will help. All right, drafting out of the 3-hole. 100%, this is absolutely true. If you get your blood drawn without telling them you take creatine, your creatinine in your bloodstream will be super high, and they will tell you that you're gonna die. This is that's 100% real. Fantasy Football Garage. They will freak out, and they will tell you that like your life is gonna end. All right, draft number 4 begins. This is going to be the final one. Yeah, that's what it is. They'll tell you your kidneys are going to fail, which they won't. Yes, although these creatine gummies that they make, Adam, they some of them on Amazon, they've been like tested by YouTubers and stuff, and they actually don't have any creatine in them. So I would recommend not doing those. I would recommend, truly my recommendation, I guess I can only say this is what I do, is I buy the Raw Nutrition ones because I trust them. Tiger Uppercut, a new memby with a positive review that the Slappy Central Discord is a great hang. Good people there. I wonder, I would assume Jesse Morse at least is enough of a real medical doctor to be pro creatine. Yeah, Amazon is a lawless wasteland. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. Yeah, also true. Making creatine is so cheap. All right, here we go. The people say that I hate running backs, but I don't. How about that? How about a little Saquon Barkley for you there at the 1.3? All-time run of profile picks. Yeah, we got Costanza, we got McLovin, we have Murphy the dog, and we have full Shane Gillis. That is a good run. That's very funny. It is honestly crazy to make a creatine gummy and not just put it in. What's the point? Oh no! Did the thing happen? Did the underwater thing happen? I really don't have any control over that. This is a really nice microphone. It really should not do that. What can you do, man? What can you do? Very hard to say. All right, what's going to be my game plan here? Should I do the Slappy thing again? Should I do Fannin and Gadsden again on this one? Should I do who was the guy? Someone was in here earlier asking us to take Shadur Sanders. Maybe I'll take Shadur for him. Oh, yeah. Well, Cade, tell your wife I say hello. Tell her I hope she's having a great day. Tell her I'm sorry that you're obsessed with fantasy football. I'm not actually going to take Shadur, but I might take Fannin on this one. We might do Fannin. So I guess what? This is my 81st. So now I actually have more DraftKings Millionaire Maker drafts done than Underdog. So we're going to have to start hitting the Best Ball Mania streets hard starting tomorrow. Coach Speak Index, Mr. Greg Branos, is going to be the guest on the stream tomorrow, and he just sent me this. If you have a list of topics or players you want to touch on, let me know, and I'll get extra prepared. So you guys got anyone you really want to hear Coach Speak Index dive deep on? Tell me right now, and I will pass it on to Greg Branos, aka Mr. Coach Speak Index, and we can get some actual alpha. There's not always that much alpha on the channel. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do my best. But all right, we want Jaden Blue. We want Jags backfield. Who else do we want? Not doing Slot Demon. No, not doing that. Khalil Herbert versus DJ Giddens. Okay. Herbert versus Giddens in Indy. Taj Brooks. We did Taj Brooks last time. We got that one. Saints backup. Greg is funny. Yes, he is. Okay. What do we? I would actually. Should I do the high T start? Should I take? I'm going to. How about that? Barkley JT. Dylan Sampson. Okay, that's a good one. Dylan Sampson. Not doing Browns quarterbacks. Browns quarterbacks not relevant enough. Oh, I'll do Roshan. I'll say Kyle Manungai. Malik Washington. That one also doesn't feel relevant enough. Yeah, Greg did a huge breakdown 3 weeks ago on the channel of the Bengals backfield. He pulled all the stuff. I would take T here. I would take Garrett Wilson. It actually doesn't really matter. Yeah, T, bang. Davis, I've been doing bench flies since you made the really good point that it's just a great way to throw some weight around. Yeah, my form on bench flies is not going to be great. You know, it's not going to be this perfect, you know, Chris Bumstead, perfect contraction, you know, but it's going to be, I'm going to pick up some heavy ass weights and I'm going to frickin' Sam Sulek rep them out. My guy, Corey Kiner, signed his 49ers contract. All right, that's a good one. I'll ask him about Isaac Guerendo and Jordan James. Isaac Guerendo, Jordan James, and I'll put Corey Kiner, ? In parentheses. Tyler Warren. Okay. Tyler Warren, we can do that. I mean, I don't want to overwhelm Greg here. It could be. It also could be StreamYard. It could be my GPU. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it is annoying when it happens. Burton versus Yoshi. I already got the answer for that one for you, which is neither of those guys matter for fantasy football. Colts QBs is a good one. Colts QBs, I think, is strong. Let me put that one in there. A lot of Colts questions for us here. Keaton Mitchell, Lloyd versus Wilson, Brashard Smith. Trust me, if there's been a word uttered about Brashard Smith, I'm aware of it. I have Google alerts set on for Brashard Smith. Okay, New England wide receiver room in general. I like that. New England wide receiver room. All right, that's what? That's 10 topics. I think that's enough. I think 10 topics is good. And hey man, you guys know where to find it. It will be on the Davis Maddock YouTube channel tomorrow at guess what? 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, right after Best Ball Breakfast. The Peter Overzet to Davis Maddock pipeline. Packers receivers, yeah. I don't know. Do I even want to know what coaches are saying about Dontavian Wicks? David makes a great point, which is that I bet the Colts coaching staff has a lot of questions amongst themselves. Yeah, they don't even know. Anything planned for week 17? I'm going to have like a 5-week-old baby in week 17. So probably not much. No, there is a merch link. If you go to Maddock.store, you can get the merch. Maddock.store is an operational website with a t-shirt and a mug on it right now. But it just, the thing is it just can't link to my actual YouTube account. That's all. I can't really take Jalen Hurts here. I'd like to, but I can't do it. Too far behind. We're gonna take Ted. I would have loved to have gotten Xavier Worthy on this team. Yes, they are. The picks of the mug on the mat. All right. Hold me to this, boys. This week, I will do my absolute best to figure out the merch store stuff. What if you have a BBM finals team? Would you be more apt to go to that game? Well, of course, I would love to do that, but Davis knows. Well, I know the due date. The due date is early in November. Oh, Travis Hunter. I have not taken Travis Hunter yet on this stream. There you go. T. Higgins, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter. That's a slappy. You know what? The combinatorial ownership. This is this is my favorite theory. My slappy ownership theory. One of the easiest ways to get unique teams. This is true on Underdog. This is true on DraftKings. This is true anywhere you play fantasy football. But the combinatorial ownership of guys like Barkley and Jonathan Taylor, or any running back start, Bijan and Jacobs or whatever, the combo ownership with the slappy players, with Travis Hunter, with Brashard Smith, with all these guys is so low because the running back draft starters are never, ever taking the running back starts. It's Hayden Winks always does this research. And then a bunch of people did it with the DraftKings data that they released. But basically, like, it is provably true year after year that the slappy players are so easily predictable. Like I bet the Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter combo ownership is so much higher than Zay Flowers and Rashee Rice, even though they go right next to each other. It is. It's the Jekyll and Hyde strategy. Yeah, boomer running back drafters just are not slapping it up. And I can't believe Soup's last comment was, is Demarcus Robinson the wide receiver in San Francisco you need? Absolutely not. No promises, brother. No promises, Arlox, because I'm going to go in and I'm going to absolutely fire a bunch of picks off when I get off the stream. Now, this is, again, no one wants to admit this. Every strategy can win. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just so funny because people like me that do, like, I think about best ball all the time. I think about football all the time. Basically it is my living to talk about this game. No one knows anything, man. The best strategy is to pick the right players. And there's so little that you can control about picking the right players, you know? That's the crazy thing, you know? You do your home league. You do 2,000 best ball drafts, and then you do your home league, and Bob from accounting smashes you. Oh, Bijan and Jacobs that's fine, Aaron. That's no sweat. I don't think that's early enough to worry about the buys. I should have just know Judkins was going to get arrested and be slapping Dylan Sampson. Hero running back. I'm a Kamara guy. I like Kamara a good bit more than I like Mixon. Mixon has age and offensive line stuff. It's not great. Oh, damn, Burrow went. That's so annoying. Oh, golly. All right, Juwan Jennings. Man, I was actually really excited to take Burrow. Yeah, he is tilting. Yeah, D-Rob is also going to get suspended 3 games for a DUI. The woman who took Patrick Mahomes in the first round in our work league got first and second in back-to-back years. Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is absolutely true. Kamara is older than Mixon. That's true. If you didn't know Judkins was going to commit domestic violence, then you need to invest in a crystal ball, dude. Should I take Rizzy? Should I take Rizzy P here or Addison? I want to take Rizzy P. Doesn't make it. Actually, you know what? I'm taking Diggs. My Diggs bags are a little light, given that I don't think he's going to start the year on the PUP. I think Diggs is going to play week 1. And my bags are a little light, so I need to pack the bags a little bit. Good crew here on a Sunday, boys. I appreciate all of you. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Sunday, man. We're having a grand old time. Walked my dog around the dog park this morning. My dog absolutely loves the dog park that we signed her up for. She is, man, it's so fun having a dog. Are you at the point where you're taking Connor over Mixon? It's pretty, I literally have them back to back in my rankings. Diggs on the dust. Yes. Yeah. So St. Louis is a really annoying place to live. Everything is private. Everything is behind a paywall. All the good golf courses are private. Everything is private. And there are a lot of like complex reasons for that. Honestly, a lot of them doing with racism and segregation and stuff. Truly. But, the reason to have a private dog park is this, well, I guess I couldn't say the reason for sure, but the reason why this dog park is private is this. It's literally just this guy. First off, yes, St. Louis people are weird. They never leave St. Louis, and they never want to leave, and they love St. Louis. But this dog park that we signed our dog up for is literally just, this guy just bought this land. It used to be a swimming pool. And he just bought this land and set up this huge perimeter fence and was like, I love dogs. This guy has 4 dogs who just walk around this dog park with him, and you have to like go take your dog to like interview to get in. And it's not very expensive. It's like $30 a month, I think. It's super cool. Like I really think it's a cool thing. But basically, like if you are a dog owner, you know that other people are like bad dog owners and like don't know how to train their dogs, don't know how to deal with their dogs in public. Exactly. Dog parks are fun, but you have to be alert because bad stuff can happen. And no one wants to be in that situation. So the idea of a private dog park is actually pretty cool because basically there's like a weeding out process. Like someone who's a bad dog owner and doesn't put their dog in a position to succeed should not be allowed to ruin everyone else's good time. The zoo and the museum, Forest Park is great. Racer, that's where I got married. I got married in Forest Park. Huge. St. Louis it's cooler than I give it credit for. It's a cooler place. I like to hate, but it is. Yeah, private dog. Yeah, it's basically Grant is right. It's basically they do a dog vibe check. Damn. Did Purdy go? No, he didn't. I'm gonna take Igbuka. I'm just gonna keep pissing. I got the running back start. I'm gonna keep pissing. That's what you would think, Adam. You'd think, who would bring a dog to a dog park that's gonna cause problems? And then you go to a dog park and you see people who have just like these super gnarly dogs, and they're like, oh, they're normally friendly or whatever. No. Because I've been to loads of dog parks, like, and people, yes, no one thinks their dog is a bad dog. That's also the other thing. Ted Drew's is good. You know, it's ice cream. It's fine. What if the dogs lie in their interviews like the humans do? That's very funny. Basically, this is everything in St. Louis. Everything in St. Louis is messed up because of racism. Yeah. I have no history or opinions on doodles. I just know they're really common because they're hypoallergenic. There we go. And I pushed Purdy around and got it done. So we are now at Purdy, Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, Juwan Jennings, Steph Diggs, Emeka Igbuka. Exactly, Mr. Nick. 100%. I want to say I have been to Hannibal, Missouri. I think I maybe went skateboarding there. Hannibal, Missouri. Maybe there's a golf course there or something. I have been there. Yeah, the St. Louis burbs are cool. You don't really want to be in the city. I'm from a real small town. We've been over this. I'm from a town of like 40,000 people. So to me, cities can kind of weird me out. A Catahoula leopard dog. That is sick. I love that. I've had all kinds of dogs. I've had a hunting dog. I've had big dogs. We have a golden retriever now. I've had rescues. Actually, all my dogs have been rescues until Murphy. Emo's Pizza is trash. Emo's Pizza is not good. And Provel cheese is disgusting. Not good. Why did Bruckle pass on Lamar if he wants to take all the Ravens? I think Bruckle is just vibing, dude. Bruckle's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. My 7-year-old daughter just came downstairs, saw Davis on the big screen and said, "It's Short King Summer, dude." Now she's making me buy her a Labubu for making me laugh. Is this a is this a compliment? It's actually funny you say this, Bones. My sister-in-laws, my wife's sisters, call me a human golden retriever because I just love everything. They're always making fun of me. Like, we do things as a family. Like, we go out to eat and I'm like, this is the best restaurant ever. Or we go on vacation and I'm like, this is the best vacation I've ever been on. Or we're in an Airbnb, you know, just wherever. It's just like, I'm like, whatever we're doing, I'm always just like, this is the coolest thing. So they've, for like as long as I've known them, they've called me a human golden retriever. Watching with my 7-year-old, give Danica a quick shout out. Danica, thank you for watching. Your dad helps me live my dream. Without Danica, without your dad, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't be able to feed my dogs. So thank you, Danica, for letting your dad hang out with me. I worked at Emo's for 7 days. I worked at Domino's, and nothing in Domino's is ever frozen. Yeah, it's just Racer. It's just not very good. It's, you know, it's fine. Should I take Lawrence here or should I take a running back? This feels right about the range where you could start taking Judkins. Oh, maybe actually Njoku. Should I take Njoku and Fant on a team? I don't know. This feels early for Lawrence. Oh, no, I'm taking Charbonnet. This is a Sharps pick. Sharps or Spears, maybe both. I didn't get May. So a little frustrating to not get May. I agree. Jets is better. Get comp to a golden retriever all the time. Yeah. It's a good, if you're a human and getting a dog comp, it's a good one to have. I don't know. What are my quarterback options? I guess honestly I'm running out of quarterbacks. I've got Bryce, but that's it. This isn't a huge reach on Lawrence, is it? 131. I mean, it's not really. English Bulldog is a bad comp. Yeah. A lot of dogs named Max. Talking on your phone during a lift is crazy. There's a guy who goes to my gym who I see literally every morning that always is on his headset. Like he literally has a straight up headset. Like not like on his phone, like an old 1980s style over the ear headset, and he just chats. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I think this is probably true. Anything under 20 picks on DraftKings is fine. That sounds right to me. Oh man, got an undrafted contest on DraftKings. Power broker can't be off your phone for more. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't let me lecture anyone about phone etiquette, because I'm on my phone all the time. Like, I'm on my phone in the middle of these streams, bro. But not talking on the phone. Talking is crazy. Also, just realized I'm not gonna be able to do legs this week. If my knee does not feel better, God, I feel so freaking old, dude. Embarrassing stuff, bro. Imagine being in your 30s and waking up and being like, dude, you hurt your knee walking to get coffee. Oh, English Bulldogs are. We were not saying English Bulldogs are non-elite. English Bulldogs are great dogs, but as a human being, you don't want to get that comp. Yeah, put me on the PUP. Put me on the pup list. No, I'm pretty good at bouncing back. Is there a way to download your drafts on? Oh, well, the Best Ball Explorer, right? Isn't that right, Bearcat? I think you can get all your data there. Best Ball Explorer. I have never used this tool before, but I think you can get the data there. Oh yeah, do we need a picture of the dogs? Do we need a dog channel in the Discord? I guess we probably do. There you go. If you use that link, Adam, not Adam, Bearcat, that'll help. I mean, TKR, it's whatever you want to do. What do you like better? Do you like full PPR? Do you like half PPR? Do you like the interface better? If you had a limited amount of time, you should just do whatever you want to do. Because the truth of the matter is, in best ball, you're never going to realize your expected value in this lifetime. So you should just have a fun time. You're probably gonna get, yeah, DK is $5 cheaper. So if that's help, I mean, if you want, I would say I really like whenever there are single entry contests open anywhere. Single entry best ball contests are a lot of fun for me. All right, I'm definitely not taking Dalton Kincaid. Definitely not doing any of that. We could do Bryce. No, I'm taking Guerrero. Why does the sidekick never tell me to take Isaac Guerrero? We might take, maybe we'll take 4 tight. You guys dare me to take 4 tight ends? Might fuck around and take 4 tight ends on this team. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take Brenton Strange, assuming he doesn't get sniped for me here. God, I really want Dylan Sampson, though. I'm taking Dylan Sampson. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later at tight end. Strange might get back around to me. I think Purdy and Love is like, that's right about the line where I think I wouldn't do, where you'd be fine with another quarterback. I am going to take 4 tight ends on this team, I think. You guys can't stop me. I'm team Sampson over Ford. Oh. God, dude. Chipotle order. Right now it's the honey chicken, rice, pinto beans, lettuce, sour cream, fajita veggies, corn salsa, hot salsa, fire. I like Loveland. I'm more Loveland on DraftKings than on Underdog. Win drafters. I texted the owner of Drafters 3 days ago. No, he texted me. I can tell you exactly what he said if I can find the text. Basically, soon. There'll be Drafters soon. Oh man. Honestly, this is the part of the order that I feel least strong about. I could switch this one just based on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I go through a stage where I like pinto beans, but the honey chicken is so good. No, I think it's fine to take Ford and Sampson together at their current prices. Oh, I do a bowl also. I don't do the burrito. I do a bowl. Brown rice, fajita veg, honey chicken. I don't get the queso. Pico is a must. I don't get the cheese either, and I do get the lettuce. I think it's crazy to have a strong preference over either one of the beans, though. Yeah, bowl. Got to do the bowl, man. Brown rice is not terrible for you, Lutz. That's a crazy thing to say. That's crazy. But yes, the calories in the tortilla is like, I think it's like 450 calories per tortilla, that's crazy, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like black beans and I like pinto beans. They're both very good. Well, that's what I get. I get the mild salsa. I get the pico, the corn, and the hot salsa. That's what you got to do. I don't get cheese because of the calories and because I don't really like it. Like the cheese I can take or leave. Like the starting thesis would be that the extra calories are not worth it, but the primary reason is I just am not crazy about it. It's fine. It's fine either way. Someone was saying in the chat yesterday that they went to a test kitchen for Chipotle and they had eggs in it. Wow, Strange came all the way back to me. That's how it's done, boys. That's how champions are made. Brenton Strange, bada bing, bada boom. Pinto beans are exotic baby food. That's a crazy thing to say, bro. That is a crazy thing for you to say. Pinto beans are fine. No one feels this strongly about beans. Bang. Karloftis, 4-year, $93 million contract extension, $62 million guaranteed. Boom. All right. I just lost my window. I'm not taking a tight end here because, again, I have a plan. Wide receiver, Jalen Knoll. A little bit of spice in the wide receiver room. Is Mexican the best food? Oh, probably for me. Yeah, I think for me, I'm going Mexican. Maybe Americanized Chinese food. Why not just take Gasicki? Adam, I have a plan. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. I have a plan. Man, Americanized Chinese. If I'm feeling fat, Americanized Chinese food goes hard. The secret is every culture basically does chicken and every culture's food is protein, carbohydrate, and some sauce. Yeah, Joey knows the plan. Noel is a lock for 45 targets. Dude, Korean barbecue, underrated. South Colorado, New Mexico, Mexican food. What's the twist? I agree with this. Al Pastor tacos. When Chipotle had the Al Pastor, I was getting Chipotle like twice a week. Dude, I am so freaking hungry right now. Oh, you guys are killing me. All I've had today is 3 eggs. Oh, hatch peppers are fire. Yeah, the green hatch chili peppers. You're not beating that. All right. The team is as follows: Brock Purdy, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, Juwan Jennings, Steph Diggs, Emeka Egbuka, Charbonnet, Lawrence, double stacked with Hunter and Strange, Guerendo, Sampson, Knoll. I've got a plan at tight end. What is my plan going to be at quarterback? You mean you have a dream? Don't know how much of a plan. Andrew, that's fair. Now, you make Italian and Americanized Chinese food are the best. In other words, I'm overweight. You guys had this yet? The McDonald's snack wrap? You guys been back for it yet? I've had it a couple times because my wife loves the McDonald's snack wrap. So we've been on it. What's up, bro? No, it's not terrible, dude. It's fire. I've gone like 10 times already. It's good. I mean, dude, fast food is like genetically, it's like literally like made in a lab to make your brain go nuts. Now that is a good man. No reason for it. Like, dude, it's literally food. It's literally food created in a lab for you to like. All right. We're up in 2 picks. Yeah, obviously fast food is good, dude. It's not good for you and you shouldn't really eat it, but come on, man. Panic picked Keenan Allen. Joey B is a panicking. Firecracker, I'm about to do basically the slappiest nonsense you've ever seen. First off, I'm going to take Anthony Richardson here to back up Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence. Duval, the Kingsmen. So that is slappy in and of itself. But the final 2 picks I'm going to make in this draft are going to be slap beyond slap. And you're probably going to leave the stream. Yes. Chinese food or Thai food in San Francisco or Indian food is crazy. Brother, I'm always down to talk dogs. I wish that I just had a dog YouTube channel. Dude, how heat would that be? Your whole YouTube account, like your whole social media account was just based on having like a dog. Be unbelievable. Miles Sanders. Yeah, Miles Sanders. Dude, the Cowboys starting running back in round 17? The left wing slaps. Yes, it's true. The left wing slaps have reclaimed. Yeah, AD Mitchell is definitely incoming. How many this is a good question. How many like 10 RAS Colts wide receivers are left? Like Ashton Dulin, Desmond Patton. Dulin still on the roster. Anthony Gold still on the roster. Laquan Treadwell, technically. The Colts like have so many of those guys. Cade has a dog YouTube channel with almost 2,000 subs. John the Bulldog. All right, I gotta see this. John the Bulldog. Bro is serious out here. That's so sick, dude. Bulldog thinks he's a cat. Oh, dude. You gotta get after this. I do in fact take Isaac Tesla on DraftKings. Yes, Jaden Blue has started slipping as a result of the laziness. Yeah, dude, petfluencers, if you get big on TikTok, you are printing money. There's this one. Oh god. There's this one that I think is so I don't have Instagram. Well, I do, but only for work. I don't use it. But there's this one that my wife watches. I think it's Ollie the dog. Oh my god. This it's crazy, dude. He's the cutest dog in the world, man. Yeah, Ollie the dog. He's got 2.4 million followers on Instagram. No, I don't take Milrow on DraftKings. I've taken Milrow in the Superflex contest on Underdog though. I like him. I like him there. Both. I've taken Sean Tucker on DraftKings and Underdog. I do need to integrate Murphy into the stream somehow more. Yes, Jaden Blue is falling now. Where did he go? Where did he go in this one? Jaden Blue in this draft went at 145. So that's like a real slight. But he has been falling, Firecracker. I don't think even if Travis Kelce does get injured, that Noah Gray is a good enough pass catcher to be the guy you need, frankly. Just my opinion, though. Dog cam would be heat. I mean, the thing is, when I'm working, I guess actually now, because my wife is working from home sometimes, that she's not in her kennel all day anymore. So maybe there's something there. Seen him in the 160s on UD, or 160s on DK, 170s on UD. All right. Dude, they literally don't even know. Dude, that's for you, Firecracker brother. Harold Fannin. We're slapping it, and you might think that's Slappy. I take Higbee a little bit. Not a ton. No, it's crazy. Imagine you could be a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick and be a starting running back, but you're too lazy to work hard enough to beat Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. You should be embarrassed. I'm out. Society if the Rams got Brock Bowers. Well, no, we don't want Bowers playing with Puka. We do not want that. I don't know, man. The news does not sound good on Judkins. I think Tootin, bro. All right, man. You thought I was slapping before? Wait, Gadsden went? You're kidding me. Who took Aronde Gadsden? Okay, what is happening here? Who took him? Bro. Joey, dude. Dude, that's crazy. You ruined my whole plan, bro. I think Judkins has fallen a smidge. Jaden Blue Lazy is this year's Fat Keenan or Josh Jacobs Hall of Fame game starting. QB most likely to outperform their ADP, Geno Smith. Geno Smith by a lot. That would be my opinion. Gadsden was the whole plan, dude. He was the whole plan. Start to finish. I built this draft backwards from Aronde Gadsden. I had Levitan tweeted about Gadsden. Judkins still on the board at 135. Yeah, I mean, I think I've taken Judkins once since the news broke. All right, what's our final? Oh, I guess our final pick is going to be AD Mitchell, unless I get sniped, which is always possible. How many subscribers are we up to here on the old channel? We are up to 8,098 subs on the old YouTube. 8,098. 393 subscribers, 119,000 views, 33,000 watch hours, $1.9 thousand of estimated revenue over the last month. I think Devin Neal is fine in round 20. Wow, my boy finally linked his Twitch and his Prime account, so we can now subscribe at twitch.tv/DavisMattic. Yeah, way worse stats than the dog. Is there a player you refuse to draft regardless of ADP? If I was being honest, it would be De'Ami Brown, but I do take him sometimes. How's my team looking? Well, I'll recap for you, Nick. I've got Brock Purdy, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins, Tet McMillan, Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, Juwan Jennings with Purdy, Stephon Diggs, Emeka Egbuka, Zach Charbonnet, Trevor Lawrence, double stack, Isaac Guerrero with Purdy, Dylan Sampson, Jalen Noel, Anthony Richardson, Miles Sanders, Harold Fannin Jr., and Jatavian Sanders. I think this team is looking quite good. You probably are the only one watching from Japan. You just subscribed on Twitch. Just tell me your team and I'll rate it. And then I'm getting out of here. Wow, a wild Dylan Gabriel selection. You love to see it. A St. Louis native. I am gonna take 4 tight ends actually, because this team absolutely sucks at tight end. All right, I made fun of GPNGC the other day, so I'm gonna take Elijah Arroyo. He wanted it. I was making fun of GPNGC on the Travis Hunter video on the channel the other day. So there you go, Elijah Arroyo. Final team, 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 7 wide receivers, 4 tight ends. I owe a sauce. If my boy, Mr. Holmquist, tells me which team he is, we'll sauce him. And then we're moving out of here. Wow, 8,100, bro. The road to 8,100. We only have 1,900 more to go. We could conceivably get to 10,000 subs before the season starts. We have bang. All right, here we go. We got a sauce for Joey. He sniped me, so it's already a delete. Gibbs, Ladd, Lamar, J-Mo, Waddle, Swift. I don't love Swift at 67. Addison, I like with J-Mo. Ingram. No, this is terrible, bro. You got to just take Mark Andrews here, Joey. I know it stinks, but you got to just wait. Did he really? Is that real? Noah Fant released? Holy shit. It's real. Noah Fant released by the Seahawks. So, I mean, I guess that's not that crazy because we knew all offseason, and Joey, I will get back to you. We knew it was really likely that Noah Fant would get released. We thought it was going to be before June 1st. But, I mean, I think Arroyo is now one of the absolute best late round tight ends. I think it's clearly a boost for Torrey Horton. I would be interested to see if Noah Fant does sign to the Dolphins. I like Arroyo a lot more than Barner. I would be taking Arroyo over Barner, but taking Barner is not crazy. Noah Fant released. Yeah, man, that is wild stuff. It's weird timing. Weird timing to do it right before training camp. I don't know. All right, we got to keep roasting Joey. Ingram and Nix together is fine, but I think Mark Andrews is more important for you. You get Bateman with Lamar. Rachaad White is fine. Likely, whatever. Eckler, fine. Tua with Waddle, fine. Pat Bryant, Keenan Allen, you did panic. Marshawn Lloyd, Gadsden, Monangai, Malik Washington. That's not a delete, but it's also not an elite because I think you panicked. So I'm giving you, Joey, I'm giving you a compete there. Bang. All right, boys. There we go. Yes, it is bullish for Arroyo's health. Yeah, good stuff, fellas. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And I will be back with all of you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow with Mr. Greg Branos, Mr. Coach Speak Index himself. See y'all then.